Hello, hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm alive. I'm here.
Okay, so say that all again.
Okay, hi. That's embarrassing. Sorry, I was just talking to myself. Wood Grump, it's good to see you, buddy. My Thanksgiving was awesome. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of folk talking. Yeah, Mike's muted. Mike's muted. Yeah, fishing game is up, folks, on Twitch, and as for the YouTube friends, I can see you guys now. I can. Hopefully, you can hear me. We can hear you now. Okay. It wouldn't be a late night gaming stream if there wasn't some kind of audio issue. Despite my best my best efforts, I'm like, this is the one. This is the one. We're gonna go off without a hitch, and then I'll talk to myself for 2 minutes. Okay. I'm sharing the stream to the appropriate social media platforms. See, we're gonna look at the positives of that. I was able to get the small talk out of the way, and now I'm in a bit of a groove. So I was able to get the small talk out of the way. What is that? Oh, that was the stream coming from my computer. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right. The links are set. We can now have fun. Is this how I find out I'm deaf? Oh no, no audio. How you guys doing? World's first Infinite stream? Yes, this is the very first stream of the video game Halo Infinite. Nobody has ever done it, but man, you know, someone's got to be first. LNG, the new drones in Infinite multiplayer do make me wonder why the UNSC spent so much money invested in the Spartans instead of mass-producing drones. Drones? New drones? What? What's going on? Oof, that's loud. Ooh, ooh. Okay. What's happening? Did I miss something? That is blasting in my ear. Halo Infinite was just getting up on its feet with the Falcon. So sad to see support end. What else do you think they could have added to the game? Like, in your opinion? Because what I'm thinking is Halo Infinite has kind of gotten to the point where the only thing left that they could do, honestly, is quality of life stuff, such as reorganizing the entire main menu, which, you know, granted by how little the main menu has budged since launch, I doubt that they have folks in engineering and UI. You know, they probably don't have those resources to commit to it. Stuff like Warzone, I even think, would be outside of the scope. So I honestly struggle to think of what they could add to the game realistically. When's the next Warthog Radio episode? Hopefully this weekend. Hopefully this weekend we can get an episode recorded. I bet you're going to be streaming forever since you're never reaching max rank. Oh, but hey, oh ye of little faith, check out this. Look, boom, Onyx grade 3. Dude, I've got 2 more ranks to get through. And then that hero rank is mine. I don't know what you'd call a humanoid drone. Robots? Combat robots? Well, I understand the droid armor, the robot stuff. Well, isn't that hello LNG? I used to watch your MCC videos on making it look better. Oh, the reshade videos? Yeah, those were fun, weren't they? I had a brief panic for a little bit because I thought reshade broke with the anti-cheat system. Like the game wouldn't boot up; it would just crash. But it turned out to just be an issue with a very specific version of reshade. I love the sprint video today. You did? Okay, yeah. So for some of you who are joining right now, there's a new video up on the channel. You should go check it out. It's pretty great, even if I do say so myself. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. Here, we are going to hop into Big Team Battle. Because Big Team Battle's fun to watch. BTB heavies? No, we do not want heavies. We want Okay, so the name of the game right now is XP farming. And CTF games so Big Team Battle already has a XP multiplier applied. So if you stack on top of it how long capture the flag games go on for in Big Team Battle, you can walk away with a lot of XP when you play capture the flag modes and stuff. Didn't know you stream on Twitch. Yeah, well, now you know. Welcome to the party. If you press if you do exclamation mark fish, I've got a little fishing game open, and you can catch some silly little stuff in there. Yeah, sprint video was good. I think it should work like D-scope, where your damage cancels sprint. Well, it's funny because they also remove D-scope. The Nazi zombie mode? The Nazi zombie mode for Halo Infinite, it also gives you like a metric shit ton of XP. The problem is that it's very hard to play and chat because it gets very intense. The sprint video was nice. I am happy to hear the thumbs up, the approvals. What I mean is that why didn't the UNSC just mass produce robots instead of the Spartan program? Considering the Spartans are so expensive to produce. I mean, yeah, you know, but I'd imagine it's a combat robot, even in the future with technological advancements, probably would not be quite as reliable as good old human intuition. There's a spider egg capsule in my computer GPU. I'm doing great. You should take that out and get rid of that spider egg. Methinks. Ray Traced Halo 3 was the video that made me go, holy shit, ray tracing is beautiful. Oh my god. Well, okay, here's the embarrassing thing about that. It's not really ray tracing. It's screen. Basically, all I did was turn on screen space reflections. And I didn't know what I was talking about. But yeah, screen space reflections are pretty cool. Are the premium battle passes worth it? Depends on the premium battle pass. This final one, this Halo Infinite final one, I like it quite a bit, if I do say so myself. Here we go. Oh, I still, my stomach drops. It's weird, because Halo is the only game franchise where if I fall from a really tall height, like, my stomach drops. No other video game kind of gets that feeling out of me. I don't know if it's, like, the momentum, the sound effects, the way that the screen subtly shakes and stuff like that. I remember on Forge World in Halo Reach. Let's pick up the heat wave. Oof. I am not seeing outlines? I think I might have disabled them for some reason. I think I had a video that I was doing and I needed them disabled. Oof, 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 oof. Okay, you know what? We're going to get that Ravager rebound because this thing's great. Okay, hang on. I have screwed around with all of my settings and I need to do some resetting of these settings, so to speak. Yeah, let's get you up a little bit. Interesting that you don't play on 100 FOV. 100 FOV's comfortable, I think, for keyboard and mouse. I play on like 105, 103 on keyboard and mouse. But on controller, I try to make sure that I play on a low FOV, because when I'm recording, I find wide FOV looks super ugly in videos. You know, like super wide FOV, view model is like busted looking and it's been smushed into the side of the screen. It just doesn't make for like a very attractive video on YouTube. So I have gotten used to playing at lower fields of view with big kind of eye candy view models. It's not as hard as people think. Like, it definitely helps that Halo, I think, has a very clean... Halo's, like, the type of geometry that Halo uses, especially for, like, Forerunner stuff, it's very picture-esque anyway. It almost feels like every environment is framed, if that makes sense. So it makes playing at low FOV very easy, because it's not exactly like Warzone or something, you know, like Call of Duty's Warzone mode, where it's just a big wide open field and enemies could be anywhere at any angle. Like, you usually know exactly where the enemies are going to be, so you're rarely caught by surprise. Ah! Okay. People still play this steaming sack of shit? Yeah. Yeah. You should play it. It's fun. If you don't mind, like, you know, Steam. You play on the lowest default FOV? So, like, 78? Because high FOV inflates map size and enemy placement. There is also a bit of that. When you play at a high FOV, it can give you an incorrect sense of how close an enemy is to you. Like, they look like they're really far away from you, when in actuality, they're probably 5 feet away from you and within melee range. Okay, let's try to focus a little bit. Uh-oh. Looks like a postcard. LNG, should I get the classic Shotgun Bulldog model for Infinite? It's entirely up to you. I've been looking at that one, too, a lot. Hey, Rocket Baby just subscribed to Tier 1. They've subscribed for 14 months? Dude! Welcome, welcome. You should have a series of emotes at your disposal that you can do silly things with. There is also the fishing game that you are absolutely free to have fun with. Welcome to the channel, man. Oof. Hang on. Let me hop out. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that gunner. Yes! Okay. Oh boy, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. That guy's got Master Chief. That guy's hero rank. Did you see that? Also missed a highlighted Twitch message. Let me see. This is how I do sprint. Use Infinite as a base, but add the reach/4 stamina system. Then add the function when you can't. When you get hit, you can't get shields. After 10 seconds, you go into super sprint and infinite stamina. But the catch, your shields are permanently down to power the super sprint power usage. What would be the speed boost for super sprint in that regard? Hang on. Let me look at some of my settings. There we go. Okay. The image looked a little bit blurry. And then let's also get yellow on, just so the enemies stand out a little bit better. They're a little bit more poppy. Seeing the campaign evolved AR model from Infinite's microtransactions just shows how bad they wasted 5 more years doing nothing. Well, here's the thing. Not only are you incorrect. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Rebecca needs to get into the closet to get something. You, sir, have been caught. You are... Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Where is... Here. All right. Ah, hang on. Wife is being cute today. She's being shy. Yeah. So give her 1 second. All right. Is it good? It is not the Halo Infinite model that is in Campaign Evolved. It is a completely new model. And you're wrong and you're complaining about nothing. So you've been caught. How does that feel? Look at this. I'm playing with one hand. Let's see how far I can get. This is crazy. I've never had to stretch my fingers this way. Okay. I feel like I should get kudos for at least being able to damage him, right? I've got my thumb on the thumbstick. I've got my pinky on the left stick, and I'm using my pointer finger to shoot. This is... You know what? I think I could compete like this. Give me a week, and I can figure this out. Because I've also got my thumb blocking out the camera because I couldn't find it fast enough. Oh my gosh, I am so toast. This is the most vulnerable I've ever been in this game. I see it. They're everywhere. I see my motion tracker. Oh no! Ah! Sean Dubs type gameplay. Hey, you take that back. Sean Dubs isn't... Come on, this is so much worse. This is... Have you guys ever seen that, that, like, semi-viral clip of, Halo Infinite, Halo 5 bronze lobbies from, like, the skill-based matchmaking model, where someone was able to get into, like, the lowest bracket of Halo 5 skill-based matchmaking? And it's like, it literally looked like a circus. It was two guys. There was kind of like a... Oh, God, there was, you know, like a piece of cover in front of them. And they were literally, like, ring around the rosy, like, trying to shoot each other and losing each other. And it was around this small piece of cover. They spent maybe 3 minutes chasing each other around this tiny piece of cover, shooting, missing. And then eventually one of them was able to punch and beat down the other guy. And then he teabagged like, oh man, I that guy stood no chance. That's what this gameplay reminds me of. Like, just be, like, awkwardly moving about. How's it going, LNG? It's going freaking awesome. We're playing Halo Infinite one-handed because I could not find the camera off switch fast enough. Wife needed to get behind me. She's being cute and shy today. Needed to get something out of the closet, which is conveniently past me. So because I couldn't find it fast enough, one thumb, the hand, you could say, is holding the camera, blocking it. And then the other hand is, you know, holding the controller. And I'm learning how to play one-handed Halo Infinite. Oh my god. Oh, I am surviving. I guess, like, longer than I thought I could. Okay, she got it. She just came through with a huge box. Alrighty. Watch this. Boom! Guys, see, look, it's like nothing happened. Nothing happened. And funny enough, the quality of the gameplay is not going to improve either. Even with two hands. So it's like you guys didn't miss much. Oh boy. Okay. The feeling when everyone in the world around you is moving up, but you're stuck in diamond. It does feel like that. This is what Bungie meant when they said prioritizing player choice. Make the game so that people can play one-handed. That's honestly kind of legendary. What, that viral clip? Man, maybe we can find it. before the stream is over. But it's funny. It's very funny. In fact, 343 Industries, I think, showed it off. Like, they showed it off, I think. Because people were just so damn curious, and they were like, hey, here's a very funny clip. Choo-choo! Ooh, a 5-stream streak. Dude, nice. You've tuned into all 5 of them. So they played like my regular Infinite teammates. Got it. Possibly. Man, okay. I'm not going to be walking away with too much XP, but that's okay. How was you guys' Thanksgiving? I dare you to play Halo 4 on Legendary with one... Okay, you said Halo 4 on Legendary, and I was like, oh, that's easy. But then you said one-handed, and I was like, oh. Okay, that might pose a problem. What's your career rank currently? I am currently General, Onyx Grade 2, so I've got to finish this one, the next one, then the hero rank grind begins. Firefight is the best XP. Should we switch over to Firefight? Play Infinite multiplayer with the controller upside down. No, that would be... You're silly. You're being silly right now. Here, you know what? Let's switch over to Firefight. For a second, I was like, this big team battle thing is going to work out. But I don't think it worked out. Can someone answer this to me? Why did none the UNSC weapons in Infinite get any 4-5 sets, yet the Bulldog got a scattershot skin? Like, what? Yeah, it is a little bit weird. I don't know. I'd imagine it was something that they probably planned. Like, I know a lot of Halo Infinite's cosmetic-related stuff was not as, like, reactionary as people think. Like, a lot of things were not built after the game already came out. Like, in fact, some of these assets go as far back as 2019 when they were created. And what happened is they more or less sit on them, and the real work begins on, like, the coding, the creation of the modes, and all that stuff. Like, that's where a majority of the post-launch work went into. Like, all the assets are basically sitting there, you know? It was a lot of, like, the content actually needing to be made, because the bones of Infinite were not solid, you know, at the time. LNG, what do you think changed the Brutes after Halo 2? I feel like they lost a lot of the combination of Bear and Gorilla and just became Space Gorillas. They lost a lot of their sharper underbites, and they look overall less robust and wild due to it. I know they looked like a big space Bigfoot, but it fit with their aesthetic. It's interesting you say that, because the reason that they changed so much is actually because Bungie was not personally proud of their look in Halo 2. Like, it's an instance sort of, like, the fans saw something that the creators didn't, you know? Bungie, the Brutes, the look of the Brutes, what Shikai Wang was going for with the Brutes in Halo 2 was something that was, like, maybe too ambitious and possibly even worked better as a drawing than it did as something that is animated and moving around. Because on the original Xbox, they wanted to render like a Wookiee, basically, like something super duper hairy looking, make it super high fidelity, and also have like self-casting shadows and stuff. And you know, the self-casting shadows, that system was cut from the game, that lighting system. And a lot of the hair, you know, had to be downgraded to the point where the Brutes ended up looking more like they were made out of like clay or perhaps mashed potatoes in the final game. Like, it doesn't really look hairy, you know, outside of a couple of like hero hair pieces on like their face and stuff. So for Halo 3, what they ended up doing is they were like, okay, the hair, the Wookiee thing, it didn't come out the way we wanted to. It looked actually kind of embarrassing. They looked kind of like these Stay Puft Marshmallow Men walking around. So they were like, okay, we're going to cut most of the hair because it's not going to look good anyways, even if we try. We're going to shave it down, and we're going to go with this, like, motorbike gang with, like, leather straps and buckles, and their chopper vehicles kind of look like, you know, like motorcycles and stuff. But we're also going to fuse that with a bit of, like, I forgot what the term was. I think it was, like, the barbarians have taken over Rome was the aesthetic that they went for, where there's something very, ceremonial, very tribal, but also mixed with that kind of, like, royalty look that the Covenant usually have. And that's what they ended up... They were also... they wanted things like cables, wires, lots of, like, electrical effects. You know, like when you bust their armor, there's kind of, like, electric sparks everywhere and smoke. Because they were thinking of, like, well, this gravity hammer thing, if their technology is built around manipulating gravity, then what does that say about their homeworld? Maybe it's not necessarily gravity, maybe it's more magnetism. Their planet might be covered in, like, very special magnetic ores that they take advantage of and integrate into a lot of their technology. Maybe they're master electricians and stuff like that, so a lot of that went into their designs for Halo 3. The faces, though, are not actually that different from Halo 2. In fact, they're mostly one-to-one. Just the only difference is you get more detail in it. And it wasn't until Reach when they really changed. Like Halo 3 was a thematic change, I think, for their art style and culture. But Halo Reach is when there was, like, an actual biological change to the way they looked. And I appreciate what they were going for, but I personally do not like the face that seems more designed around being something that you can manipulate for expressive facial animations and stuff, you know. Get it a little bit more human, make the teeth a little bit smaller so they can close their mouths if you'd like. And then, of course, even less hair, because, you know, Halo Reach looked very ambitious, or at least as far as, like, the Bungie Halo games go. It was the best-looking Bungie game on a technical level. So they're trying to kind of squeeze every bit of performance they can get out of it, so it's cut all their hair, make them bald. Alrighty. Let me see. Please check out my comment on how to fix sprint on your latest video. I personally believe that the answer comes down to making the enemies more aggressive and degrading marine morale. When you, I think I saw your comment, and the problem with that is that it would the problem with yes, with making the enemies more aggressive, I think, is that you'd run into, like, the same kind of problems that, like, Reach and then Halo 4 and then kind of, like, definitely with Halo 5 faced, where because the enemies are more aggressive, you're putting them further and further away from the player, and because the enemies are further and further away, you know, so that there's more room for you to be able to dodge their shots as you sprint towards them, you need more accurate weapons to engage the enemies at a distance, and then they need to be a little bit more accurate so firefights can start quicker, and it kind of... The goalposts for minimum viable engagement distance move so far that it kind of ends up into, like, a Call of Duty-style shooting gallery, where it's all engagements are at medium to long range, and it's mostly people just picking up ranged rifles and aiming down the sights. Alright, I need his gun. There we go, picked it up. Explain why everyone hates Halo Sprint. I don't think everyone hates Halo Sprint. In fact, I think a majority of people on planet Earth like Halo Sprint. Which I know is people get mad if I say that. Because they're like, but the downfall of Halo began with Reach. And it's like, yeah. But I think that the reasons for that were a little bit more complicated than Sprint. Like, definitely Sprint, I think, can change the way Halo feels at a subconscious level. And some people feel that even if they don't identify that what they're feeling is Sprint that's slightly off. But, most people on planet Earth do not care about Sprint. The reasons that people don't like Sprint usually come from just the way that it impacts level design, encounter design, and the player behaviors in multiplayer matches, and you know how weapons can be balanced. Hey chat, hey streamer, says Boldy Yokai? Hey Kevin Cool, max rank, more like max tank. Max tank. That's good. That's good, Kevin. Oh, that's really good, man. How you doing, dude? You looked pretty damn awesome, you and the band performing. I showed Rebecca. Here's a fun idea. Don't use Sprint if you don't like it. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunately doesn't work like that, you know, game design. It's like saying, like, don't shoot in a first-person shooter, or don't use the jump button. It's like, well, if the game was designed with it... If you don't use a system, it does not prevent the rest of the game's systems from behaving as designed, you know? So it's unfortunately not as simple as just ignore it. Hang on. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. That was my mistake. I wasn't looking where I was going. Hale and G, I've been wondering how come many people despise the Forerunner retcon, but many don't dare to care about the Reach retconning, Halo Reach retconning the Fall of Reach. Okay, you want me to be mean? I'll be mean. I'll say something mean, okay? Just, I'm gonna wait for the all clear, okay? But be careful, okay? Because if you're a fan of the Humans Are Forerunners story, my answer will be mean. So I'll wait for permission. LNG, what was your favorite Thomas the Tank Engine character? Oh, dude, I'm so fucking glad you asked. It was Diesel number 10. Without skipping a beat, it was Diesel number 10. Dude had the pinchy. You know, the big claw on his back. And, was it Sir Topham Hatt, or was it the conductor that had to stop Diesel number 10 by making him sick and pouring sugar in his gas tank? No, trains don't have gas tanks. I want to hear. Say it. Okay, the reason that people don't mind the Fall of Reach retcon is because they don't read. So they don't know the retcon happened in the first place. That's why. Like, they retconned the Fall of Reach. Now the book's timeline doesn't make sense. It's like, oh yeah, well, it doesn't bother me because I don't read anyways. I don't even know how the story was supposed to go. Alright, let's get him up. Now I've got... Oh my god, there's a lot of them. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I did not have confidence I could get him up even with my overshield. shit. I need a precision weapon. Oh. You will do. In fact, you will do nicely. Very true. Yeah, it's basically that. That's why. Hey, Late Night, how have you been? I have been pretty great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, but I don't usually disagree with Favin. Oh, what are we talking about? Disagreement with Favin. Yeah, Favin, I glanced through his video a little bit. I didn't have time to properly watch it, but, you know, he's veering a bit more towards the negative side of things. Which is okay, by the way. Like, Favin has never pretended that he was... He's usually given credit where credit is due and been incredibly consistent on the things that he dislikes. So I don't think he's doing it out of bad faith. Hey, Ben, thank you so much for the £2. Is that British pounds? The symbol looks a lot like Halo Infinite credits. Reading, isn't that what commies do? I remember the first time I met Halo Cannon. He was drunk and ranted about red guns. Dude, was that in the God, where was that? That was in Seattle, wasn't it? And wasn't I also, I had not eaten breakfast nor lunch. So my only meal was from the previous night, and it was like 11 p.m., and we were in like a loud bar or something, and I looked thoroughly miserable as Halo Cannon is next to me, drunk and ranting about retcons. And Duquesne 23 took that screenshot of me just looking like I wanted to end it all. Like trying to focus on the menu while Halo Cannon's next to me. Oh my god. I remember that. Yeah. Oh. Reading makes you blind. Is that what reading does? Hey, King. Hello, King, back. I'm going to commit heresy here. I like Black Ops 6 Zombies. I don't think that's heretical. It's a video game, dude. What is this heresy? I must, though, inform you that you are incorrect with that opinion. No, you're fine. I'll be honest, I'm feeling weak about Black Ops 7 Zombies. I'm almost thinking of doing Game Pass just for 1 month to check it out, because, God, even though it's very stupid that bus, or not bus, the vehicle is in third person, like, it's very dumb. I like Transit. I like Transit a lot. I don't give a fuck what people say. Transit was a great map. I really liked World at War Zombies, like the defense stuff. I like being locked in a very enclosed place, you know, and you have to kind of keep the zombies out. I like that more than the, like, just running around a big room and all the windows are open and zombies are attacking you. So Transit was exactly up my alley, where it was like, I am safe inside of the bus. The zombies are outside of the bus, and they are trying to get in, and I need to keep them out there. Like, that's the stuff I like. So Transit hit all the right points for me. And Ashes the Damned looks cool. Minus that stupid third-person vehicle. I heard Black Ops 6 Zombies was actually good. Black Ops 1 best zombies. Black Ops 1 Zombies is a lot of fun. 5 is so... As I get older and older, I appreciate 5 more and more. And I don't think they could ever do something as funny as John F. Kennedy, Fidel Castro, McNamara, and Richard Nixon defending themselves from zombies in the Pentagon. I don't think you could ever do that again. And not for any specific reason. I think it's just because people don't care. Shout out was given to Deja Mango. What is a shout out? What does a shout out do? Greetings from Germany. I love the podcast. Oh, dude, I'm glad that you like the podcast. We're going to be recording a new episode possibly this weekend. Warthog Radio, it's going strong, and it's all thanks to Rebecca, producer, editor. She keeps us in check, makes sure we're on our best behavior and on time. Transit is really great for 30 minutes. No, transit is just like fun, period. I like transit a lot. Bro, show us that picture if you have it. I don't have it, but Duquesne has it because he will every now and then just like post it, which means he saved it. And apparently he took obscure like Yeti-like pictures of me all throughout 2019 when we were meeting up in person. Just like, and it's like me just like standing there minding my own business, but it's at a weird angle that makes me look kind of compressed. He's got like a little album of just like bizarre cryptid-esque photos of me. And he pulls them out when I least expect them. Transit was cool. I hate the power system on that map. Yeah, no, that's easily the worst thing, is the... It was very dumb that you had to build the power switch. Like, I get what they were trying to do, but one of the pieces for the power switch is a zombie arm. And the problem is, in Black Ops 2, one of the pieces you could give off the... In fact, the only piece you could give off the zombies was an arm. So... And, you know, sometimes the bodies would actually despawn, but the arms would stay there on the floor before they were eventually cleaned up. And trying to find an arm in a pile of arms is very difficult, because you have to find the specific one. Yeah, the power situation was not good for that map, but it's also, like, I know that power setup like the back of my hand now, so I can get it done. But no, it is not ideal. Yeah, but the fog? Call of Duty Zombie fans need to shut the fuck up about the fog. If you remove the fog from transit, you would rob the map of 70% of its atmosphere. I'm so tired of low visibility being seen as this, like, objective downgrade. Like, hey, sometimes low visibility can actually make things scarier and more tense. Hey, Mr. Nowhere! Dude, thank you so much for the donation, man. It's good to see you. I always appreciate your contributions, dude. You ever heard of the Slip Space mod for Halo Reach? A guy made a mod where you can do space combat UNSC versus Covenant. It is so cool. Also, hi, LMAO. I've been following it. Is it officially done now? Because last time I was looking at it, it was like in various stages of development, right? Like, is it officially out? And is it multiplayer or single player? Yeah, it's good to see you, Mr. Goatware. Oh, that's one of our elites. Goatware coming in with LG's weekly income. I appreciate you, man. I always appreciate you. Have you been grinding the new battle pass, Mr. Nowhere? Or have you mostly been sticking with the single player games lately? MCC definitely needs modded server browser because I want to play that spaceship mod so bad, but I ain't joining no Discord server to play it. They wanted to do it so bad for the MCC, the developers, but from what I understand, it's out of their hands. It's a Microsoft-related thing. And Microsoft legal, they're like, no fucking way are we going to host servers for, like, mods, because we could potentially be accidentally spreading, like, Star Wars mods, which we do not own, the license for. As time has gone on, various companies are a little bit more strict on what games do, even in regards to modded content and stuff. Well, especially modded content now. So it's like, even though we are the ones that are making the content, it's not them. They just supply the tools and we have at it. The companies still go after the people who provided the tools in the first place, because they're like, well, it's your fault. Which sucks, you know? That's why the community can make, like, a one-to-one AT-AT thing in Halo Infinite Forge, and no matter how hard you try, you will never see it showcased. It'll never be showcased in one of their blogs, because they don't want to do it, you know? They don't want to be potentially at risk. Like, even Nocturne Toten, the only reason that Nocturne Toten is now in matchmaking for the Survive the Undead playlist is because Microsoft owns Call of Duty now. So that's okay. Multiplayer, it's on Workshop as of now. I've been grinding real life, but a ton of time for... not a ton of time for games these days, and yeah, I'm glad to donate. Thanks for all of your effort. Did you get a chance to see my video yesterday about Sprint? I'm curious to hear your thoughts, man, because you are like kind of a litmus test for what the chill Halo fan thinks. You just kind of go with the flow. So I'm curious to hear your stance. The Bulldog design is obviously a Turkish shotgun DP-12? What? Is that true? Like, I know that, they were inspired by modern firearms with a lot of Halo Infinite's new weapons. Like, part of the reason that the Commando is not a bullpup weapon is because they wanted to make a weapon that was more inspired by the kind of things that you'd see possibly produced today. Whereas, you know, things like the classic Halo assault rifle, like the bullpup was from the early 90s, or the late 90s, I should say, early 2000s, when speculation was that bullpup was going to kind of become the standard. And it wasn't. It never took off, bullpup. Which sucks, because bullpup looks very cool. I'm a no sprint guy, but I don't hate it as much as others. Slide is a big issue in my opinion, but I do want a decision from Halo Studios, take it or leave it. In regards to the Halo remake, yeah, that's I have more fun in the Halo games that do not have sprint, but as evidenced by me playing Halo Infinite at the moment, it is not a deal breaker for me, and I do find enjoyment still in the Halo games that do. It's just preference, you know? I'm a no sprint guy. Which, interestingly, so is Halo Cannon. He also thought Halo was just, like, more fun when it didn't have sprint. But I do think in regards to the remake, this like toggle thing and the kind of like I don't know, we just, you know, player preference. I'm like, no, you gotta commit. What's it gonna be? Because it's either you make a bad version of Sprint that doesn't belong and the whole game is broken, or you decide, okay, yeah, we're gonna be designing this remake with Sprint in mind, and you integrate it into the core gameplay combat loop, kind of like you know, Halo's 4 through Infinite. You can't fence sit on a gameplay mechanic. It's got to be either an intentional core part of the game's design or not. As in not in the game. And since I don't think they're going to be getting rid of Sprint, I think that they need to integrate it more thoughtfully into the combat loop then. Oh boy, this is bad. This is bad. Alright. Okay. If you don't want to use it, toggle it off, plain and simple. Well, at that point, that's what you're saying. So there's two realities there. Either Sprint is so pointless as a mechanic that you can toggle it off, and there is no change in how the gameplay feels. In which case, you've kind of like failed as a designer, you know, because you spent a ton of time designing a redundant system that just doesn't do anything. Or you toggle it off and the game just doesn't play well, you know, because you're deliberately not engaging with the core gameplay as intended. So either way, it is not a very confident version of the mechanic. It lacks confidence, it lacks integrity. And it makes for a weaker game as a result. Because surely you'd want the game to be designed solidly, right? You'd want all the core systems to have strength, to have integrity, like they all serve a purpose in the game. If you can just ignore one of the core aspects of the gameplay, then that means it's weak and it needs addressing. Kind of goes back to what Arrowhead said, a game for everyone is a game for no one. Sort of, yeah. Sort of. Yeah, it's you gotta have integrity in your gameplay mechanics, you know? If you're just like, I don't know. Just don't jump. Just, if you don't like jumping in Halo, never jump. LNG, the way I would design it is you toggle it off, but you move slightly faster. It would depend on if the environments are even scaled for something like that. Because being able to move faster in 360 degrees could have a lot of gameplay ramifications that, you know, Halo Infinite multiplayer, I think folks remember when the strafe acceleration was insanely snappy. Like, you could change directions in a snap. And it was miserable. It was so awful. The fact that, like, players were just, like ping-ponging back and forth really, really fast. You do want, you know, some sense of, like, folks are moving at a very specific speed that's easy to track, easy to follow. Because if folks move too fast, you kind of get a repeat of, like, Doom 2016's multiplayer. The way I would have integrated Sprint, to be honest, is a stamina meter. Like, a stamina meter that functions sort of like Halo Reach's stamina meter. If you get shot, you get knocked out of Sprint. No, maybe not shot. If your shields go down, you get knocked out of Sprint. If your shields are down, you can't sprint, you get knocked out of Sprint. It's a finite stamina meter you could maybe sprint for about 7 or 5 seconds, and then I'd give it maybe like it would take maybe 5 seconds to begin recharging, and the recharge would take about 2 seconds. So it's like 5 to 7 seconds of sprinting, 5 to 7 seconds of regenerating it before you can use it again. That way, it's there as a tactical gameplay option. You know, if you need to quickly do a burst of speed, do a piece of cover, like you exhaust sprint for 7 seconds. You can't use it, but you executed it in a very specific situation. And then also it has the added benefit of, like, if there is a long hallway and people are bored and they just want to run down the hallway really fast, but the hallway is pretty cool and atmospheric, they potentially have enough sprint that they can make it half of the way there, and then they have to walk the rest of the way, and that's when they can be like, whoa, you know what, actually, I never noticed how, like, atmospheric this place is. And it kind of forces them to stop and smell the roses. You know? Like, could you imagine how boring Breath of the Wild would be if they just let you have infinite stamina? Like, you can just climb as long as you want. You can climb as long as you want. You can run for as long as you want. Swimming, don't worry about drowning. You can swim forever. Like, the game would not be nearly as much fun if it just had infinite stamina. Like, limitations encourage you to think about the environment and think about how you're going to engage with the game in more interesting ways. Then I think just kind of like making it a no-brainer. Like, just sprint. Just sprint everywhere. What did you think of the Battle for the Academy maps? I like them a lot. Like, it sucks that it's clearly, you know, there are limitations that Forge just cannot overcome, but I liked it quite a lot. The stamina meter has proven to be, in the past few years, to be largely unnecessary and mostly annoying. No, no, no. Because you say that, and all I'm going to say, I'm going to be like the Will Smith meme of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Examples of games that are objectively better due to a stamina system. And they would be inferior products if you could just run forever and there was no stamina system. The people who complain about sprint are the same people who would have complained about a jump button if they added it to a Doom 1 remake. No. No. No, I think that is straw manning. Or not straw manning. Is that straw manning? It sort of. It's like inventing a fake argument that nobody is making and doesn't share a lot in common. Breath of the Wild stamina system would have been a lot less annoying if regular sprinting was unlimited. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, that's the TikTok brain. That's the TikTok brain. Because sprint isn't just about getting from point A to point B. Sometimes it's about initiating combat, it's seeing a target and running to it. And then the way sprint stamina is linked to your climbing and your swimming and stuff, there are penalties to just spamming the sprint button to get wherever you want everywhere. Like, if you're running, and then you're like, oh, and also I want to climb now. Well, you're out of stamina because you were just spamming sprint everywhere. So you need to slow down, conserve the energy, and exert it in places where you think it would be worth it, versus just holding forward and just sprinting through the whole game. It makes you look at the environment in a more tactical way. Like Breath of the Wild, it's crazy how much of the game, like after I noticed it, I was like, oh, this is genius, is how much of just moving through the environment is me doing the math in my head of, like, if I exhaust sprint here, I'll get tired at this point, and then I will be able to run just up to here. That would give me enough time for the stamina to come back to full so that I can cling onto this rock and get to the top. So I'm like doing math in my head on how to use the stamina that I have, when to take breaks to regenerate it and stuff. As well as, you know, like, engaging in combat, because the stamina is also linked to, like, your swinging and your melee attacks and stuff, and so much of the game would be lost if you just let people sprint forever in Breath of the Wild. Like, it would destroy a huge chunk of what makes exploration in that game so compelling. Elden Ring has it both ways. Sprinting is unlimited until combat is initiated. Then it's tied to your endurance bar. Yeah, that is how Elden Ring does it. And interestingly, I don't like it as much in Elden Ring. I don't like that the gameplay changes arbitrarily depending on your proximity to a potential enemy. Because sometimes there's also moments where I don't realize there's an enemy there, and it's the fact that my gameplay just changed that informed me that I'm near combat, you know? I prefer that, like, the mechanics are consistent across the board. Zelda stamina first appeared in Skyward Sword. It did, didn't it? A straw man would be, I don't like sprint in Halo, it ruins pacing. So you want Halo to be slow and boring? Is that a straw man argument? Because isn't the point of a straw man argument, like where that term came from, is that you have nobody to argue with because nobody's making those points, so you invent a straw man that you can then say, look at this guy with his dumb opinions that he's having. You know, if I were to say, like, people who like sprint, they have no patience in the world. No, I don't even want to say something mean, because I don't think that about them. It would be like, people who like sprint, the only reason they like it is because, they're too stupid to appreciate blah, 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 and they think that blah, 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 blah. You know, I'd be inventing a fake straw man that I can then mock for being stupid, and it's like, the truth is, like, nobody like that exists. Like, I've just invented somebody to get angry at and mock, and, like, see, I'm right because of this fictional person that I've invented. It's hard to keep up with a conversation that's over text. Well, I hear your arguments. I think that's okay. I just think we appreciate different things, you know? Like, I saw your comment about Reach, and I actually didn't necessarily agree with it. Because there's certain multiplayer playlists in Halo Reach, and even some campaign environments where you are forced to give up the sprint ability. And you just don't have access to it. And you can see that the level design changes. Like, the fact that Reach has the ability to sort of have its cake and eat it, too. Like, they can have sprint and then design environments for it, or they can know for sure that you won't be sprinting, so they can build environments where sprint just isn't a factor. Like, that's at least how I see it. And that's not even to say that, like, Reach is this game where it's like, oh my god, so much of the game is played in Classic. Like, no, most of the game you do have access to sprint. But the fact that there are areas of the game where you do not have access to sprint, and level design and encounter design hugely changes as a result. Like, the game has that ability to do that. And it's not, you know, the same as in, like, Halo 4, if they were to literally remove your ability to sprint. Like, Halo Reach has a very concrete and confident mechanic, and a justified reason for removing your sprint. You know, they didn't just arbitrarily turn off one of your buttons. They're like, nope, now you have the jetpack armor ability, so you have to give up your sprint. It's sort of like in the Call of Duty campaigns. I've never liked this about the Call of Duty campaigns, when they need you to slow down, and so your character will lower his weapon, and you just now do not have the ability to sprint or aim down the sights or shit. Like, they just deactivate huge chunks of your controller in order to slow you down. I like that Reach actually had a built-in way to remove your ability to sprint that didn't feel like parts of your gameplay were being turned off arbitrarily. Like, it's integrity of the game design. That works fine for campaign, not for multiplayer. See, I do think it works for multiplayer, because it's ultimately up to the developers, you know? If it's an external sandbox item, the developers can choose if they want you to have sprint or not have sprint. Oh boy. And I think it's okay if we don't disagree. Like, it's not the end of the world, you know? And it's not even one of us being right and the other person is being wrong. It's just two different views on it, you know? Different gameplay preferences. LNG, would you say Legendary Firefight or Fiesta Fight is better for grinding career XP? It's definitely not Gruntpocalypse Firefight Legendary. I don't think that playlist... You can't do Gruntpocalypse Legendary now, can you? I'm doing right now Firefight, Gruntpocalypse, not Fiesta, just Legendary difficulty. And that's giving a shit ton of XP right now. Oh, yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I just have a different opinion. And yeah, same way. Like, I don't think you're wrong either. Like, I definitely understand where you're coming from. And you prefer that consistency of like, rather than all the different armor abilities that people can pop off, and one of them is the ability to cover ground insanely fast. You know, and then some people just don't cover ground insanely. Like, you prefer if it was just kind of that changes how people move about a map so dramatically that you'd prefer that that was just a core part of the gameplay. Versus some people have it and some people don't. And I get that as well. And I totally get why you prefer that. And it is complete. It's like, yeah, there's a reason to prefer that one. It's sometimes a little bit less messy. Okay, let's see if I can actually get anybody up. Did I just, like, totally miss? I think I did. Ay. Oh! Great. Nice. The thing about stamina in a multiplayer context is that it's mostly negative too. You're already punished for sprinting by lowering the weapon. See, I don't think that lowering your weapon is enough of a penalty. Because it's like less than a second. Less than half a second, usually, just to raise that. It's so easy to just raise your weapon and start firing, you know? Like, I think, like, Call of Duty 4, like, classic Call of Duty 4, I think that game, the sprint in it is really clever, the way that it was implemented, that your base movement speed is fast enough, and the maps are scaled to be, you know, points of interest are squished close enough that you never feel that like, oh my god, I'm in the middle of nowhere, I just wish I could keep on sprinting, you know? Usually, like, you could sprint for a really long time in classic Call of Duty 4, but it was also, you could sprint so damn fast. The fact that it was a finite ability that you could or could not activate, you know, depending on your stamina situation, it made Call of Duty 4, it felt more like a kind of, and go, and then you hoof, you know, you hit hoof to a quick piece of cover, and you get there really, really quick, and then you're, you know, wait for your stamina to recharge, pop out, fire off a couple of shots, sprint to the next piece of cover, Like, once Black Ops 3 introduced unlimited sprint as the default, they had to dramatically slow down sprint speed to the point that it's almost like it's sort of like Halo Infinite sprint, you know, where it's such a small speed boost, and then they had to scale up the environment so much. I think it's a little bit more interesting if the sprint speed is really fast, but you can only execute it for a set amount of time before you get tired. It makes it into these moments of, like, it's almost like a mini game in the back of your, or a meta game in the back of your head. Like, you're scanning for enemies in the environment and also scanning for opportunities to sprint to a piece of cover. And a piece of cover that is well defended so that you can regenerate that stamina. And then sprint to the next piece of cover. Like, I'm usually thinking about a couple of things at once. Where with something like this, it's just kind of like, you turn off your brain, you activate sprint, never need to think about it again. Because, you know, my gun's down. That's a huge penalty, and I'm like... What penalty? That? COD over the years has also had perks for keeping your weapon up when sprinting or having unlimited sprint. Yeah, the Call of Duty perks that let you keep your weapon up while you're firing. Sledgehammer Games, I remember that perk. Gung Ho, it was called. And what's super weird is in Sledgehammer Games' Call of Duty, they had a completely separate animation for sprinting. Like, your gun was physically up. Where what Treyarch and Infinity Ward had to do with their own branches of the COD engine with the Gung Ho perk is you would raise the weapon up to fire it. It never felt as smooth, I think, as the Sledgehammer Games version of Gung Ho. I don't know how it's like, though, in the modern COD games. Do they still do Gung Ho? I feel like with, like, the whole tactical sprint thing, it wouldn't fit well into the Warzone formula, right? How close are you? I am 2 ranks away, I think. 3 ranks away, possibly? Slide is a big poo-poo. I don't even think slide's necessarily a bad thing. I think, slide... A big issue with slide, I think, comes from when it is an aggressive combat tool. I think slide needs to be designed in a way that acts kind of as the, it caps off you sprinting to a place. Whether it's sliding into cover, sliding to your knees in the crouched position, like stuff like that. It should cap off you sprinting to a point of interest. The problem is when slide becomes an aggressive combat maneuver. Where, like, you want to engage the enemy with slide. That's where I think slide crosses the line and actually kind of becomes problematic. Reach's sprint allowed you to close distances crazy fast, punch and slam back into them quickly because of how fast you were. Yeah, Reach definitely did have those squirrely moments. It's a lot less of an issue in the Call of Duty series because the time to kill is so fast that the speed of the sprint genuinely made sense because it was only a couple of bullets and you were dead. So it was like you exposed yourself to sprint to like a piece of cover or sprint into a building quickly, and it was like all they needed was a couple shots on you. And you were toast. Whereas Reach using that Call of Duty sprint speed made a lot less sense because, you know, you had a full body of shields to protect you. Like, I do think Reach's sprint should have, they could have used the thing from Halo 4 where if you took damage, you slowed down a lot. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. But I also do think most people would probably... Okay, they got me. Most people would consider that Halo Infinite probably is the best incarnation of the sprint mechanic. And I definitely would not argue with anybody who thinks that. So I think there's good reasons to think that. I missed a Twitch message. Let me see. Where is it? Twitch bits. This is very bad. I don't want to be missing bit messages. Crap. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. I'm scrolling. LNG, I feel like people often disregard AI when it comes to Sprint. In CER, you can literally skip engagements because it's just the reach AI. Yep. Yeah, you can skip engagements because it's reach AI, which was easy to run by if you timed your sprint right. 7 seconds of sprint is more than enough to skip an engagement. AI will need to be adjusted and ideally fully redesigned, not just reach AI for it to work. Yeah, that I think is the biggest issue of sprint not feeling like it has a lot of integrity as a mechanic. There's a lack of confidence and integrity in the way that it's been implemented in the remake, because, like, I think people, they hear Halo 1 Remake, and they're like, well, why are people arguing about, like, if Sprint should be in it? It's a remake. And I feel like people don't understand. It's like, this is not as ambitious a remake as you think. It's not like Resident Evil 2 or the Silent Hill 2 remake, where they're functionally new video games because of everything being top to bottom rebuilt, you know? This is a lot closer to Halo 1 than a lot of people realize, because it quite literally is using Halo Reach code. Like, the Unreal Engine is only the graphics side of things. Everything else is Halo Reach under the hood. To the point that Vengeful Vadam, I was able to catch up with him at Worlds, and exact AI exploits and bugs that you could execute in Reach for, like, speedrunning tricks or even just funny quirks of the engine, they were there. They were there in this remake because it's the Reach engine. Even little oddities, like if you press fire on your assault rifle, it will always fire 2 bullets instead of 1 bullet. Like, it's Reach. It is Reach under the hood. And the AI are all using Halo Reach animations. Even the Jackals were even using Reach voice lines, if I remember right, because they were doing the what, you know, when they saw you, which was like, that like threw me for a loop, you know. And that is a problem, not because, like, whoa, Sprint, like, it's more that, like, Halo Reach, you know, whether, you know, we liked its version of Sprint or not, it was at least designed with the idea that sometimes players would not have Sprint because we'd force them to pick up a different, you know, armor ability to proceed, like the jetpack, or with the case of Sprint, they would only be able to sprint for X amount of seconds. The AI were designed around that thing, you know, and the whole combat loop, you know, behaviors and stuff like that, pathfinding, like, they're all designed around the player only being able to engage in combat and sprint in a very specific way. And the problem with the remake is that they just gave you infinite sprint. And it's very fast. This version of Sprint. Very, very fast. And you saw in the demo, people quite literally can just run. They don't need to fire their weapon to beat it. They just run past everything. General Heed, he only had to stop sprinting for cutscenes. Outside of that, he kept sprint activated the whole time. And he never needed to fire his weapon once. Which, as Will pointed out, there are some encounters that you can skip. Well, and you as well. There are some encounters that you can skip by just sprinting past them. But then there's some encounters where you can't get far enough before the sprint deactivates, you know? Which is not an issue in the remake. So I think, just for the sake of integrity of the mechanic and consistency and making sure that it feels like an organic part of the combat loop, they've got to consider that the combat loop they're building the game on top of was not designed for this version of Sprint, and they're gonna have to either change the Sprint or change the way the AI engage with you. Because in the demo, it felt broken. Like, everyone says, you know, oh, you can just sprint past everything, and I in Halo 5 and Infinite, those games were designed around infinite sprint, and I don't think that argument holds up that well, because, you know, enemies, they're a little bit more accurate, they're a little bit more aggressive, they turn faster, like... In this, though, it does feel like you can just sprint past everything, in the remake, at least. I wish the CE remake was closer to Red, RE2R, or the Dead Space. I do as well. On one hand, it is actually cool that, you know, they want to kind of preserve that, like, Halo feel desperately, to the point that they're using the Reach version of the engine. Probably, I assume they're using the Reach version because there's something about the bells and whistles that version of the engine has, you know, that maybe, like, other versions of the engine don't. But it is weird. It is weird, because it's so close to Combat Evolved Anniversary in terms of feeling kind of like Halo Combat Evolved used to feel, that the new editions feel kind of odd. It's caught in this weird no man's land. It's weird. It's like, it's ambitious in some places, but then not nearly ambitious enough. And I was going into this remake, I was anticipating it, like, we knew they were going to announce it, you know? And I was waiting for the reveal, and it was going to play nothing like a Halo game. There was going to be a prone mechanic. There was going to be aiming down the sights. I was expecting them to fully rebuild the core gameplay. And I was shocked at how safe it's... And I don't use safe in a bad way, okay? Like I said, I respect, actually, that they're going that far. But I was shocked. The Halo CE remake reminds me of Metal Gear Solid Delta. Does it? I haven't played Delta, so I'll take your word for it. You think switching Halo to a third-person view for Halo 7 would help Halo, like how switching to first-person helped Resident Evil gain some degree of success? Like, they could try to achieve new ways of immersing players into the world in third-person, create a new feel for Halo with a third-person camera. Oh, man. That's a loaded question that you're asking. Because Halo would... I'm trying to think of, like, all the things that you could change. Because Halo Infinite plays surprisingly well in third person. And I think all those, like, third-person mods for Halo MCC also showed that Halo transitions smoothly into third-person perspective. What do you think they could achieve by switching fully and committing to a third-person video game? Like, not just as a toggle, but, like, this game will be played in the third person. What do you think could be achieved by doing that? LNG, my best guess is that Reach AI for now is a base, and they're working around, and they'll probably add more to it during the development cycle. It's a pretty good base to use for standard animations. I don't think so. I think you're giving... I also don't mean this in a bad way. You're giving them a little bit too much credit. I think the real reason that they're using the Reach engine is actually for game feel purposes. Like, people like that version of Halo's physics, I think. Probably in terms of, like, you know, how many assets they can have, like, running around. There's probably, like, a bunch of stuff like that. Probably also a lot of it is animations. Like, those animations do hold up and look good already, so they don't have to make new animations. I forgot, somebody looked, and it was, okay, so this is anecdotal, okay? So, hey, everybody watching, 92 of you, and then how many are on Twitch? I can't actually see right now. This is anecdotal, don't take my word as gospel, okay? It's only something that I've heard, and if there is a way to verify it, I would love to know. And I'd love you to reach out to me if you are able to verify it. I've heard that right now Halo Studios has less than 100 employees. And a lot of the creative people left or were fired as, you know, the studio was stripped down and rebuilt. And part of the reason that Halo Infinite post-launch was not getting a lot of ambitious stuff, you know? Like, hey, they brought back the Brute Spiker, they brought back the Saw, they brought back the SMG. The reason a lot of it is, like, you know, kit bashing an assault rifle, kit bashing a rocket launcher, kit bashing a shock rifle. It's because they don't have animators. Or at least they don't have a lot of animators available. And so I think the reason that they're using reach animations is not as a placeholder. I think it's because they want to use reach animations. Because those are the resources they have at the moment. Oof. Less than 100? How many was the maximum number? I think at their height, they were like 400 to 500. TechPon maybe knows. Because he usually pulls out those facts, you know, out of his head. I might be confusing it with one of the Call of Duty studios. I could have sworn it was like at least 500 people, maybe 600. That sounds a little bit big, though. But it was multiple hundreds of employees, and now they are down to less than 100. They're not... The reason that they're co-developing this remake is because they do not have the in-house staff to make their own games anymore. Like, a lot of... going forward, it seems like it's going to be a lot of co-developments on future projects, which, hey, you know, the last Halo game that was co-developed with another game developer was Halo Wars 2. So it's not even that that's a bad thing, you know. In fact, that might actually be a really good thing. Just depends on the studios that they team up with, you know, the enthusiasm that those studios have for the property, you know, and I guess Halo Studios' ability to kind of, like, work with them, guide them on how to make a good-feeling Halo game. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. BioWare is now sub 100 too. Oh, that's bad. That's... So, at least for game developers, I don't know how it works everywhere. Maybe this, you know, is kind of like a universal thing, and I'm just kind of like ignorant on the subject. I know for game developers what usually happens is, and it's not like the sign that things are smooth and that they're working well. It's usually what'll happen is like, there's like pre-production, you know, where they figure out what kind of game they want to make. And then when they enter full production, they usually scale up and start hiring people. Then the game releases and it's like, you know, sales numbers come in. And what usually then happens is like, they just kind of like lay off a bunch of people because now those people, they aren't on a project, you know. The next project is kind of being cooked up and their services aren't needed anymore. That's at least the way that I've heard it described. Like usually your reward for helping ship a game is you're laid off because now you might as well just come in, you know, you're coming into work to kind of twiddle your thumbs because the next project is not out of pre-production yet. So they got really nothing for you to do. Like, obviously, like, seniors and stuff, they'll stay, but people who are lower on the totem pole, they're gone. .343 at one point had 750 people. Okay, so they went from 750 people to now about less than 100. Hey, Late Night Gaming, I got to go play Warframe with my friend. I may not agree with all your opinions, but it's nice hanging out with you. Reach Recon, it is always a pleasure when you join, my friend. We may not see eye to eye on certain things, but that doesn't make me appreciate your company any less. Have fun with Warframe, dude. Microsoft has a bad habit of hiring on temp developers for about 14 to 16 months and then letting them go or doing contract work where they just get small individual assets from various devs on a per-thing basis. Well, using contract work, at least like some of the people that I've talked to, at least who worked on like Halo Infinite, they said that like contract work is not necessarily like the worst thing in the world. Like, it definitely makes sense in some areas, you know? Like, I mean, depends on the studio structure, but the reasons Microsoft rely on it so much are less than noble. They rely on it mostly so that they can keep you on long enough that you can do a shit ton of work for them, but then they kind of fire you right before that deadline where, you know, you need to start having conversations with them about, like, being, you know, an actual employee, healthcare and stuff. And it's contributed to a lot of, at least for, like, you know, as an example with Halo, a lot of brain drain where kind of people learn and they get experience working on the Halo series that can cross over into the next Halo game, but unfortunately they are let go because their contract ends and they don't want to hire them as a full-time employee. So all of that knowledge leaves with them. And so you kind of get, like, you know, the new folk coming in for every new project. They have to relearn lessons that old people have already learned, you know, but they weren't allowed to stay on. Like, there's one guy who was let go that I'm still in contact with. He's actually, like, a good friend. I won't name names or anything, but the enthusiasm he has for the Halo series is, like, unparalleled. Like, he would get off of work working on Halo Infinite and come home and do his own fan Halo projects just for him. Not stuff that he'd ever release publicly, because, you know, there's, like, I think it's called a non-compete clause or something. But he likes Halo, so he just made it for him, even though he can't actually release anything that he works on. And the stuff he would make was so cool. And, like, just his understanding of Halo was so deep. And they let him go. His contract ended. And there were a couple folk at 343, this was back when it was 343, that were trying to get him properly hired. But no, Microsoft didn't care. FM 2023 and Infinite are really similar development wise. Is that Forza Motorsport? Yeah, I've heard the new Forza game was apparently like a trash can, right? Or not a trash can, but like similar to Halo Infinite, where it's insanely unfinished at release, like astonishingly unfinished. I cannot take on the grunts myself. I need help. Oh boy. Hopefully that can drain his shields a little bit. Okay, perfect. I hope with their move to the Unreal Engine 5 that'll at least mean hiring on temporary developers goes smoother, since they'll be working on an engine they're familiar with instead of something in-house with no documentation. Well, the problem with that is that they're not doing that. In fact, they might have made things more complicated. Because now they're not technically using the Unreal Engine 5. They're using a Frankenstein monster of the Halo Reach engine, Unreal Engine 5. So it's, you know, they're using like an Xbox 360 era game engine that has been stitched to the Unreal Engine 5. So it's, they at least, you know, like I know one of the folks, like Grunt.API, like he's very pessimistic about that because he's like, oh my god, if you thought Slip Space was going to be hard to work with, like this Frankenstein engine is going to be a nightmare. But I don't know. I mean, maybe a bonus could be that. Maybe a bonus, like a way that it could work, is that since the Reach mod tools are available, you know, on Steam, you could, I mean, even though it's not, you know, this, like, what's it called? The Source Engine? I think that, no. God, I forgot the name of it. I might be using the correct term, but like it's not the Source Engine, you know, for Halo Reach's engine. The mod tools, there should still be enough in there that you can become kind of familiar with the way that Halo Reach does things under the hood. So I don't know, maybe that would help speed things up, because they say, you know, like during this review process, like, do you know how to use the Reach engine, like mod tools and stuff? Your video on Sprint helped me to stop being so hardcore on my no sprint policy and be a little bit more level-headed. One of the many reasons why you're the Halo YouTuber and I'm not. Thank you. Ripster, that is insanely kind of you to say, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate that hit close to home. Rebecca saw for a second the wall of text that I added, and I added it during the editing process because I had a moment of thinking. And I was like, you know what, I need to add something, and I don't have enough time to record the audio for it, but I gotta say this. So I'm glad that you paused the video and took the time to read that that novel that I just dumped on screen for a second. Yeah, it's I prefer no sprint in Halo as well, but it's also not the end of the world, you know. It's like a picking and choosing, I guess, like the battles, like the things you want to get stressed about. That's a lesson that I learned with Rebecca, actually, being with Rebecca, because when I was alone, I had all the time in the world to get so angry about things like game mechanics, because like the YouTubing thing was basically my whole life, but now thanks to her, there's a lot of other things that I'm very passionate about, and it kind of puts into perspective, like, you know what? This probably isn't good for me. I'm keeping myself stressed constantly, and I don't need to live like this. This, I don't think, is healthy for me. And I'll always have my preferences, and if anybody asks, I'll always say, you know, yeah, I'm a fan of the no-sprint Halo games. But I am kind of done with the arguing, you know? Oh, it's like the Oblivion remaster running multiple engines? Yes. Hey, Arnold Davis just subscribed with Prime. Dude, thank you for the subscription. Welcome. You have some emotes that you are free to use. If you type fish, no, exclamation mark fish, there's a fishing game that we have set up. You can catch all sorts of things. You can catch Halo things. I think we got all the armor abilities, possibly, in our pond. Yeah, all you have to do is type uppercase fish, and it happens. I remember pre-Rebecca LNG, so much toxic and hostility interacting back then. Yeah, my priorities were unbelievably misplaced. The things I chose to get angry about were fucking ridiculous. That's also why, you know, when folks were, some of the, you know, some of the more negative comments that I get when I upload something about Halo Infinite, you know, covering an update or whatever, and they're like, this is what you think is, like, quality content, or blah, blah, you know, about, like, things like the Vestige Carbine, and it's like, I'm not saying that, I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, yeah, there's a new gun in Halo Infinite, yeah, they clearly had no budget making it, but it still adds something to the game, and I'm like, okay. I just don't have the energy to get that mad. And I feel like if you genuinely do not like it and it makes you that upset, like, at least for your own mental health, you should probably, like, just step away. And that's not even saying, like, don't even bother improving. Or don't even bother giving feedback. The game's fine. No, it's more like, if you genuinely have lost all hope, for your own mental health, just, you know, finding things that you do enjoy is probably for the best. Halo Studios does not care for the traditional Halo, says Mini Man. I appreciate the $2, by the way. Oh my god, wait, there's a lot. Do you play Ocarina of Time on the 3DS? Oh, did I? So I played it back in high school. I think I got through the first temple, but the person that is intimately familiar with the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time would be my wife right over there. She knows that game, and specifically that version of the game, like the back of her hand, and she will go down fighting in a blaze of glory defending it. To the match, yeah, I can add IZ. I think I'm still set to offline, so I can turn that off in a second after this match. Yeah, so Rebecca quite likes Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. See, they will use the IP to trend chase, says Mini-Man. Well, I think that's kind of like, most people do that, right? Like, I remember, with Bungie, for Halo 2, when they began development, they were actually looking towards making Halo 2 a more tactical game, because, things like SWAT, things like, you know, the Tom Clancy games were taking off. So people were getting really into, like, tactical, slower, cover-based shooter games, where you know, went down in just a couple of shots. And in fact, actually, one of the core design aspects of Halo 2, like the big back-of-the-box features, were going to be that it was going to have a cover system where you would kind of lock yourself to a piece of cover, and you could press a button to lean out of cover and take a couple shots, you know, pop back in. It was going to be very, very tactical in its gameplay and game flow. And Halo 2, the final game, that was more or less them taking this, you know, they were so behind in development, they didn't have enough time to actually get a lot of these systems feeling polished, so they kind of went back to basics and were like, okay, you know what? We're reverting the gameplay formula back to sort of like the Halo 1 formula. We got to go back quickly because we don't have enough time to make this tactical cover shooter thing work. So I think trend chasing, that's a thing that people have done for as long as, you know, games have sold. Like, you kind of, something new comes out, you see what it's doing, try to see if you can, you know, implement some of the lessons that it teaches people into your game. And if it's not successful, oh well. If it is successful, like, it benefits you. It's not even negative. I'm saying how it's not mad. Wait, it's not even negative. I'm saying how it is not mad. Like, how is it not mad? It's just the thing that you learn that a lot of games are usually born from trying to kind of follow the popular trends. What's important, I think, is that the developers, as they are trying to like look towards what other studios are doing, what's popular at the time, they make sure not to lose sight of the strengths of the franchise, and that's definitely an area that I think, you know, Halo Studios / 343 struggled with during their run on the Halo series. And probably it's because, you know, they didn't have a lot of that in-house culture that helped make Halo what it was, you know. So certain gameplay quirks like D-scope, they don't see the value of it that, like, you know, the people from Bungie who designed the quickscope see. Not being negative, it's just how the industry is. It is how the industry is. Halo Infinite was being developed as a hero shooter. Yeah, I feel like the closest Halo has ever gotten to being just straight up a hero shooter, I think, was Halo Reach. That's as far as Halo had ever gone to just crossing the threshold into being straight up a class-based hero-type shooter. And you could see even Reach wouldn't fully commit to that direction. So the idea of just, you know, like Overwatch with a Halo skin, that's wild to me. I wonder how that would have played out. I am grateful that the game did not end up as a hero shooter, because I think you would have sacrificed a bit too much of what makes Halo fun. Because, like, with hero shooters, you're kind of trapped within a gameplay kit, right? Like, you're the healer. This is what you do. You heal people. Your weapons are this and this. And that's not really what Halo is. At least the mainline games. Halo Studios will chase trends. Just how it is. Oh yeah, they'll definitely chase trends. I just hope that the games that they make are more feature complete and competent, I guess. Yeah, I'll pick up the skewer. Okay. Actually, you know what? I like this. Ay, ay, ay. I heard someone ask the other day how I'm able to, like, no-scope with a skewer and stuff like that, and it's because I've been in the Grunt Apocalypse mines for more hours than I can count. So I've gotten very good at being able to, like, judge distance, travel time, you know, the downward trajectory of the skewer shot in order to snipe incoming phantoms, because the phantoms give you a ton of points when they blow up. That's why it's muscle memory that I've built up over the hours of sniping down phantoms in Grunt Apocalypse. I would love a Halo Species Codex on all the Covenant races. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be awesome, actually. Did they confirm if there was going to be a Codex in the Halo remake, or did I dream that? They confirmed something like that, right? Please tell me that's not a dream. I could have sworn also that I saw while we were, like, there, you know, at HCS playtesting the game, or not playtesting, but playing the demo, that somebody next to me activated a third-person mode in Campaign Evolved. Either that or, like, one of the various outlets that Halo Studios let play showed off their... Did I dream that? If anybody knows, is there a codex in the Halo remake, and is there a third-person toggle? Because I swear to God that there is, and I'm going to be really disappointed if that was just a dream I had that was extremely vivid to the point that it's created a false memory. and post-Covenant governments, since the actual Halo Encyclopedia did not do that. For example, Halo 4 elites are better at farming, while 4 and 5 grunts use heavy weapons or bird jackals as scout. Oh, you're talking about more like that they'd create fiction surrounding what those different phenotypes would do. Okay, I get you. That would be like a caste system, right? I'm not sure that like all the Covenant species would kind of like adopt that. That philosophy, at least. But I get what you mean. I do think that there's, rather than pretending that they never existed, there are probably creative ways that you could take those assets and keep using them within the Halo universe. Damn it. Been seeing the content since 2016, I believe. Whenever Game Sheet 13 and Zedkin's getting somewhat mad towards him on Twitter, it was Halo 4 theater mode related? What's going on? I know Zedkins was able to activate theater mode in Halo 4. On the 360, he modded it and got theater mode just working, which earned him a ban from Microsoft, which was very shitty and petty. And a couple years later, cut to like 10 years later, Zedkins is able to get his ultimate revenge by helping get theater mode officially added to the MCC version of Halo 4 for the campaign. Uh-oh, are we getting a little bit too crazy? Oh, yeah, guys, don't fight. Mini-Man, I appreciate the donations, man, but we're all just hanging out here. We don't want to start fights with people, you know? He got what? Fuck. 30 minutes. Ay. Okay. Let's go this way. Halo Infinite Sentinel Beam is my favorite. Maybe one of my favorite guns in the entire game. The Sentinel Beam? Yeah, Sentinel Beam feels good to use. I like the sound it makes when you hold down the trigger and it's able to fire for a while, like that whining that it starts doing. I think my favorite weapon in the game is maybe the skewer, or at least the heat wave. I like the heat wave sometimes. Congratulations in advance. Thank you. For what? Are we here? You know what? Let's do... Oh, first let me set myself to online so Isaiah can join. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try survive the undead. Okay? If I die early, that's okay. If I don't, well, you know, you guys are gonna see me rake in a whole bunch of XP. Is it possible that LNG can quote Wings of Redemption? Oh, I don't know. Is Wings of Redemption the "I can't take this shit no more"? Is that him? I've seen that quote a lot. I can't take it, man. That's him, right? Skewer is cool. Better Spartan Laser, and I know they probably won't add it, but I think the Heat Wave would be so cool in Combat Evolved Remake against the Flood. Oh my god, dude, the Heat Wave would be so cool. That would be cool. Yeah, I'm thinking of the library. I'm thinking of like the floor of floodlings running at you and just firing out a horizontal beam. Oh, that would be cool. What is the best playlist for the XP? Technically, it's Survive the Undead. This, because you can walk away with a shit ton of XP. The problem is that it's very ruthless, you know? And when you can't get back up on your feet in this playlist if you get caught in a death loop, it's very difficult to kind of find your groove again. That's him? Okay, that's him. There you go. That's your That's your Wings of Redemption quote. I can't take this shit no more. I like to see if they brought back the original particle beam rifle design they had for some of the 2000s builds. It's like the Golden Rod model. It's like the Golden Rod model with the black hooks that act as grips. Yeah, that thing looked cool. I don't know what you could do with it. Aw, TT's bubble dreaming. Is it better than the Thunderbolt? Thunderbolt gives a lot of XP too. I forgot about Thunderbolt. Well, I guess somebody could probably do the math, like how long it would take you to get like 40 XP, because that would multiply to 80 XP and survive the undead, versus just running back-to-back Thunderbolt matches. Like, in 40 minutes, what could you get more XP in? Still no hero? Nope, but I'm almost there. I'm nearly there. Look at this. Boom. Halo 3 lighting video when? That's one. Don't worry. That's on my bucket list. There's a couple. The way that Halo Reach's version of motion, the way Halo's version of motion blur worked in the Blam engine, like the Halo 3 ODST and Reach, the way those motion blur implementations worked. I'm looking into making a video on those. But another topic is Halo 3's lighting, why it looks so convincing, despite it, obviously being technically inferior to the stuff that you see in modern games. Then there's another one is Halo 3's water physics. $5K XP for playing 10K XP with the double XP thing. I finished my battle pass. Which one are you doing? Are you doing Oh, you're talking about the battle pass. See, what I'm doing is I, sir, am grinding to the hero rank. Uh-oh. Yeah, if you ever want to get these things from behind the windows, all you have to do is shoot them, and they'll fly towards you. I think you get more points for shooting them. I could be mistaken. Because I feel like the last time I played this mode, I did a full round of just meleeing, and I feel like I walked away with less points. Have you ever seen what the Halo 4 and 5 Mark... What is that number? I'm embarrassed. Is that Mark 6? Looks like an infinite. It's so good. And which one is that? Because the only one I remember is Mark 5, and that one I think is the Combat Evolved one, right? I usually go by, like, oh, that's the Reach one. That's the Halo 4 one. Have you ever thought about talking to modders like Rejected Shotgun for insights on... Oh, you know what? Rejected Shotgun. Because he's doing things like, modding the Lich into Halo, designing a new explosion, or modding the Lich into Halo 3, making a new explosion effect for it and everything. And, all of that would interact with, like, the bloom system and the lighting system in weird ways. So he'd have to at least be somewhat familiar with the way that the lighting system works. So that actually is not a bad suggestion, reaching out to Rejected Shotgun. I can't believe I never thought about that sooner. Thank you. I'm going to do that, I think. Here we go. Things are starting to pick up a little bit, because now they're red. Red elites. Master Chief's armor from the campaigns. Which Halo 4? Wait. Which armor, though? Is it like the Halo 2 one? Or like the Halo 4 one. Is it the Halo 2 one? Because it's Mark 6, and in Halo 1 he had the Mark 5, right? Have I seen the Mark 6? Like, in this game? Like the Halo 2 armor? Yeah, I have it. It looks very cool. It's got a bit of that, like, guy in a cardboard costume look to it, just because I don't think that Halo 2 armor, I think, looks a lot cooler on more stylized and exaggerated body proportions. You know, like the way Bungie would kind of, like, you know, stretch shoulders, make shoulders a little bit more broad than, like, maybe a human would realistically have. Just stuff that makes them look cooler. I know that's not popular, but... Halo CE is the Mark 5, Halo 2 and 3 is the Mark 6, Halo 4 and 5 is also the Mark 6, but it looks different. Then Infinite is Mark 7. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Isn't he Mark 6 Gen 2 in Halo 4? Is that what the Gen 2 is? Because I've seen people say Gen 2, and is that in regards that, like, the stuff in the post-war armors that they were developing for the Spartan 4s and stuff, it's Mark 6, but the second generation of the Mark 6 armor. Halo CE was not centered like Doom. Yeah, it was not exactly centered, but it was pretty damn close. Like, it was basically at the middle of the screen looking upwards, right? Like, Doom is centered and kind of like, almost like you're aiming down the sights. But Halo Combat Evolved, it was kind of like at the center of the screen, at the bottom, facing upwards. Crap. See, now they're getting really fast. Oh boy. Fish. Halo CE is Mark 5, 2 and 3, yeah, Gen 6. Halo 4 is the Mark 6 mod. Okay, mod. Oh yeah, that's right. Technically, his Halo 4 armor is like a modified version of his. Yeah, that's right. I forget that. Yeah, the... Ay. This is bad. Okay. Well... See, and all because I wasn't paying attention. LNG, if you got the opportunity to design an official armor kit, what would you add? I don't even know. I don't even know, man. You're giving me a lot of power, like the ability to make my own armor. Like, would it be original, or could I make it not original? Could I make it derivative? Well. Oh, man. I got nothing. I got no XP from that. Yeah, see, it might be a little bit too crazy. Dude, the crosshair never being centered always killed me about Halo 2 and 3 personally. But that's how the game was designed. Like, it was designed to be comfortable, off-centered. Like, to me, Halo 2 and Halo 3 feel uncomfortable when you center the crosshair, because the game world, the scale of the environments, the view models, none of it looks correct. What should we do? Because I don't want to just... I don't want you guys to see me stuck in the Grunt Apocalypse mines. You know what? We'll play more Survive the Undead. See, and also, like, for the centered crosshair thing, I'm like, I've got this great solution for you, okay? If you're playing on a monitor and the lowered crosshair bothers you, all you have to do is take your monitor, boop, raise it up so that lowered crosshair is where you usually see crosshairs. Problem solved. That's what I do when I play Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. I move my monitor down a little bit so that the centered crosshair is where that lowered crosshair usually is. Yeah, Halo Infinite was Mark 6 Gen 3. It was Mark 6 Gen 3? So it's not even like a new gen. Is that just the multiplayer Spartans, then, that have, like, the new ones? I appreciate that lore drop, by the way. Chef and the Arbistor. Oof. Okay, perfect. It's Jeff's birthday? Like Easterling? Jeff Easterling? Oh, Jeff Steitzer! It's Mr. Halo's birthday. Hell yeah. Has anybody ever asked Jeff Steitzer to do happy birthday? I feel like that's a soundbite that the community could take advantage of. Damn it. I wasn't done killing those guys. Imagine playing Halo Infinite with glasses on in the big 2025. What does that mean? True. True, but also, what do you mean by that? Look here, in the year of our Lord, 2025, praise be upon him. This guy's out here with optical lenses. Oh man, that was a nice little bundle of elites. Okay, dude, I freaking love Survive the Undead. This guy wearing glasses. But are they raping? Man, I'm having a hankering to play Halo Infinite, but I haven't played in a year. If you are having a hankering to play Halo Infinite, this is literally the best time to play the game, because it is now as content complete as it will ever be. And as it stands right now, Halo Infinite is... It's good. It's a good game to play. And it's also nice to know that there probably won't be a Halo multiplayer, at least for the next year, if not maybe a little bit more, you know. So it's this is our Halo still for a little bit, so there's plenty of reason to keep playing it. Nerd! Point at him! Nerd! This dude's got glasses! Hello? Oh my god, he's cloaked. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Because I'm not well armed. These are very bad bad weapons that I have. Well, I mean, not this. The purging shock rifle's actually pretty good, but holy moly. Holy moly, it takes a while to reload. Oh, perfect. Yoop. Let me see if I can at least get my... Yes! Oh my god. This is perfect. This is exactly what I need. Now all I have to do is stay alive long enough to get this thing pack-a-punched. Congratulations to Mr. Halo on his birthday. On my homeworld of... Oh my god, it's the Elite. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. Congratulations to Mr. Halo on his birthday. On my homeworld of St. Helios, we get 2 birthdays. One for each heart. Wait, is that true? Is that true? Do the... No, that's... You're making that up. You're lying to me. Do Elites have 2 birthdays? I appreciate the donation, my friend. And it is good to know that you are still alive, that you are still well. Seeing as you are a completely different species as me. Sorry, there is a lot going on. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing packed. No. It immediately gave me not the upgrade I wanted. That's okay. That's okay. My name isn't Holy Moly. It's Mosey. I love dedicated role players. Dedicated role players can be very funny. Okay, that was it. Okay, are we gonna get like a discount? Did you say feces, LNG? Well, I mean, now I said feces because I'm reading your message, but no, why would I say feces? Like in relation to like, do you mean like I was stressed out and in a moment of anguish, I just said, feces? No, why would I do that? That's like something that a bunch of little boys in 4th grade would start saying to make each other laugh after finding out that the word feces is like the scientific term for poop. This is like the 10th time you've said feces. I'm literally only saying it in relation to you. I don't think elites celebrate birthdays. I'd imagine that they wouldn't. At least not in high charity. I feel like that birthdays would be celebrating individualism. And, you know, maintaining a giant cult is very hard work. You don't want people thinking that they're individuals with their own agencies. The only celebrating to be had is what you can contribute to the cult. Okay. There we go. They're back up. Lead. This mode is so much fun. I mean, it's insanely intense, but it is so much fun. And there's definitely got to be ways to help folks get back up on their feet, I think, a little bit faster. But you also don't want to make it so that, like, there's just no way for you guys to go down. It's a tough balancing act. Yeah, keep saying feces. I love it. I'll donate more. Wow, that is weird. You know what? Now that I've read that out loud, especially in that voice. So are the Ungoi basically extinct after High Charity got flood gooed? Well, no. No, you played Halo 4, 5, and Infinite, right? Dude, the elites, or not the elites, the grunts, they breed like rabbits, man. It's going to be very hard to make them go extinct. In fact, if I remember right, one of the crises that their planet was facing before they were inducted into the Covenant was overpopulation. I might have to DM Masters. You need the Kinect to access the codec thing. Oh yeah, in Combat Evolved Anniversary. Yes. You need a Kinect, which is stupid, but you need it. The codec thing is very cool in Combat Evolved Anniversary, and it's a like, listen. Combat Evolved Anniversary, we can have our own stances on it. As you know, in the MCC, you know, as a representation of Halo 1 with better graphics, it's not a great representation of the game. But I do think Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary for the Xbox 360, the release of the game, it was a solid package. Like, it looked great as an Xbox 360 game. Like, probably one of the best looking Xbox 360 games. Just in terms of, like, visual quality. You know, like, it looked great. It also had its own main menu, which I think a lot of people forget. Like, when you booted up Halo Combat Evolved on the Xbox 360, you actually got, like, the old Halo 1 main menu. If you had Kinect, you had that sweet codec, as well as some, like, stupid gimmicky, like, voice line things that you could do. Like, you could be like, you could yell at the TV, throw grenade, or grenade out, and then Master Chief would throw it after, you know, a very long delay, at which point you probably could have just squeezed the trigger. There's this launch game for the Xbox One called Dead Rising 3. And there was a boss fight. Like, so, you know, Xbox One comes out. Kinect is mandatory for it. And the boss, one of the bosses, you had to yell, "You're crazy," which would make him mad. And then he'd, like, you know, go into a rage and, like, blindly attack you. And, like, I get what they were... I get the intention. Is like, okay, he's supposed to be, like, a crazy guy, you know, and you're like, poking the bear, basically, and it makes him freak out and do something stupid, which opens him up to an attack from you. But the only one who was crazy was me, like, in a room alone playing this game and just saying at the TV over and over again, because the Xbox Kinect couldn't really understand what I was saying. "You're crazy. You're crazy," to the Xbox Kinect. I was the one who felt crazy. The Kinect was so stupid. At least on the Xbox One. Now, the Kinect's kind of buns in general. I guess, like, it's annoying that they didn't, like... There were so many easy victories they could have had that it feels like they didn't. Because they had to, like... You know, they had to Microsoft it a little bit. So it's like the Kinect animals or whatever. It's like, listen, it's so easy. It's such an easy win. All you gotta do is make it like a petting zoo, but for, like, cute, cuddly animals. Have, like, a thing where you have to just, like, you know... Maybe you own a zoo and you gotta collect cute, cuddly animals and you make them happy by petting them. Like, something very simple. And please no voice acting. Of course they didn't do that. So they had, like, terrible writing, terrible voice acting, an atrocious story that no one cares about, and it's like this linear experience. Remember the leaning feature on the Kinect for Battlefield 4? Did it? Is that what the leaning was in Battlefield 4? It was linked to the Kinect, so you'd, like, to lean? Is that what that was? You should play Haze, the Halo killer for the PS2. No, it was the Halo killer for the PS3. And it was a very sad development story. Those developers were not trying to make a Halo killer, but when the press called it the Halo killer, Ubisoft, the publisher, got really excited about that and encouraged the Halo comparison and, like, really hyped that aspect up, which only put a lot of stress and pressure on the devs, who absolutely knew that their game was not, like, a Halo killer. And then, you know, of course, Ubisoft got involved and was very, not that, like, the game was, you know, not that the game was going to be a masterpiece until Ubisoft got involved anyway, but Ubisoft's assistance was not helpful. They made things very hard, and the things that they demand to be cut or added in made development even worse. That's not a bad idea, since people lean in real life when looking to the sides in a game to begin with. Motion control should feel natural like that. But it doesn't. It doesn't. That's the problem. If there is a button to do a thing, that will always be faster, you know? Like, when I'm playing a game, I'm not... Like, my physicality is not assisting with the gameplay, you know, what I'm physically doing, because I need to be stable so that I can see the screen, so that I can read. Like, if you're moving around your body, you're not getting a good look at the screen because you're too busy, like, moving around. And, like, I'm just like, I don't want to physically lean in order to lean in the game. Like, no, I want my vision to be, like, head on. I want no physical distractions. Like, it would be one thing if the game was designed around that. But Kinect games are not ever designed around that. Or at least games with Kinect integration are not designed around that, you know? Like, it was just Battlefield 4, the game designed for the controller and keyboard and mouse and can be played on PC, PS4, an Xbox, but on the Xbox you physically leaned in order to lean. Like, Sega could have a Chow Garden for the Kinect, so it probably would have a thing. I don't understand why Sega, like Sonic Team, they just like they're sitting on a pile of money with the Chow Garden. Like they could be rolling in cash if they just started exploiting and milking the Chow Garden, and they won't. They won't do it. It's like they just like they hate money. They're like, no, we don't need money. Like, dude, I'd kill to have a Chow Garden. Okay, maybe I wouldn't actually kill, because that's, you know, okay, I take that back. That's a little bit far. I would not kill somebody, but like, I'd like one Chow Garden game. Although I don't think a Chow Garden game, you know, now that I think about it, I'm like, well, what made Chow Garden really addictive was how replaying the levels fed into the garden, you know? Like, you'd replay the Sonic levels and stuff, not just for, you know, best time, best score and stuff like that, but also because you're trying to collect rings, so you can go to the Chow Garden black market and buy little things, little items. I'm reporting you to the police. That's okay. That's okay. I probably earned it. Ah. Wow. It was getting really crazy there for a second. Did you see that? Okay, let's get this double points. What is going on? There's so many drops. Dude, look at that. I'm already at 22,000. Mad killer nerd on the loose. Yeah. Police, don't... Very easy to spot. He's got giant nerd glasses. I think this mode is a bit harder to come back from than actual COD Zombies. Oh, this mode is so much harder to come back from than Call of Duty Zombies. Like, so much harder. Oh god, this is not a good place to be. Because I am almost out of ammo. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Hey, pal, I wear glasses too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most people wear glasses. What's your visions? Visions? What are for fellow glasses users? What are you guys' visions like? My prescription is only for the left eye. The right eye's fine. It's just the left eye for some reason. And actually, I think I need to get a new prescription. Because like I can go like that, and you know things are clearer than if I did this, but. They look a little bit fuzzy. So I probably need to get some new gleeks. Oh, TechPon literally just cannot do anything. Isaiah, are you like stuck, like bugged? Or is it just like you just cannot recover? Because if you cannot recover, there might be a way to help you get back up on your feet. What I would say, Isaiah, is pick up one of these here brute chieftain things, and what you do is you sit back, and when there is an insta-kill, use the Root Chieftain Cannon to rack up a bunch of kills. And just sit back, you know, and at the end of the round, go out, get your health. Mostly your health right now, I think. This looks like so much fun. If only I knew how to play like that. It is extremely fun and extremely simple, actually. The way that it works is, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see it says I'm third place with 18 whatever. Like, ignore the third place, ignore the time or whatever. That 18,000 thing, that's how many points I currently have. And you can spend the points on items. Like, you can see there, this is 350. And it's just like you get points by killing enemies. And you just see how long you can survive for. And it gets harder and harder and harder as the rounds go on. And every now and then, they'll drop little things like this that do different things. Like that bag, it gives you double money. For every enemy you kill, you get double the amount of money. That right there, that glowing purple barrel, that was a bomb that blows up every enemy that is currently alive. If you see a floating Grunt plushie, it will make everything insta-kill for like 30 seconds. You can actually see it right there on... It disappeared now, but it looks like a skull on the HUD. You can see right there the down arrow. That's supposed to be like the cache. Look, there's the Grunt. I pick him up. Okay. It probably just disappeared right when I tried to pick it up. That happens sometimes. But... Look, I'm grabbing some ammo. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab this, spend some of my points on this. The Steam Machine price just got teased. It's going to be something like 600 to 500 bucks. Or 500 to 600. Dude, I will eat my shoe on stream if it's actually 500 bucks. Leather, like leather, fabric, I'll eat it. I will eat it if the Steam Machine is actually only $500. That is so cheap. I am expecting close to 800 or 900 bucks, I'll be honest. There's no planet where that thing is going to be $500. The Steam Deck is like, what, 600? Fuck Campaign Evolved. Are those Star Wars Unaltered in theaters 2027 rumors true? Oh, I have no clue. I lost, ironically, I lost hope. You know, because the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope. I lost hope in that. Ever happening. I'm looking at a 4K 32-inch 240 hertz OLED for the CE Remake. That's good. Can any of your machines actually get to 240 hertz? Like, I'll be honest, I think 144 to 120 is... Like, I think that 120 to 144 hertz is enough. I think 240 is largely unnecessary. Especially because most, like, graphic, you know, depending on what you play, if you're, like, you know, doing competitive Counter-Strike or something, that's a totally different story. But for, like, you know, heavy games, which I assume the Combat Evolved remake is going to be very heavy, I don't think you'll be getting 240 FPS consistently, constantly. At least not with all the bells and whistles activated, like... Me playing Campaign Evolved on Steam Machine. Life is good. I would freaking love if Campaign Evolved is like Steam Deck verified. Similar to Favin, I am I am skeptical that it's going to be performant. Just because the Unreal Engine stuff. And not that, like, Unreal Engine cannot run well, you know. Developers have demonstrated that you absolutely can make the Unreal Engine 5 sing and run extremely well. It's up to the developers to optimize it, and I'm not sure if Halo Studios is up to the task. The work on Halo Infinite and the MCC, getting those games ported to PC, does not inspire me with confidence that it's going to be, you know, well optimized. At least for launch. I really hope that they have just, like, no choice but to make it optimized, and, like, Microsoft kind of throws all their you know, engineers they possibly can on it. Well, I can't see past 30 FPS, so that's okay. I only need a 30 FPS monitor. You're being silly, and I know you're being silly. I do hope the remake, at least on console, has a 30 FPS graphics mode. Even if, like, nobody plays it. Like, I played Starfield at 30 FPS. Even after they added that 60 FPS mode, I kept mine locked to 30 FPS just because I'm like, well, I'm on the console, like, and I am willingly opting into the 30 FPS experience because I want the prettier graphics. Arc Raiders runs at like 140 FPS, so once I go up a few generations. Yeah, Arc Raiders plays extreme. Okay, so I'm still on the 1080 Ti, which needs to change soon. Like, it's getting to the point where my current PC setup is like impacting my ability to edit. Like, my PC is slow when I have Premiere open, and it's not optimal. And I need to get just kind of like a top to bottom upgrade. I looked at what I need for a PC to be comfortably future-proofed, at least for a while, because I want to also start moving into like more 3D related stuff as well. But as far as like Arc Raiders is concerned, the reason I brought that up is on the GTX 1080 Ti. Arc Raiders runs extremely, surprisingly well, even at max settings. Like, if I want a consistent feeling experience, I can lock it to 30 FPS or like 36 FPS. But with just a couple tweaks here and there, I can get it to 60 FPS with things mostly on the max settings. And it's like the GTX 1080 Ti is doing it. It's just like really well optimized, the game. Enjoy your stream, says Miniman. Thank you, Miniman. Wow, you were here the whole time? It'll be great to see the whole Halo series on Steam, PlayStation, MCC Infinite, and Campaign Evolved. I would be through the roof to see the MCC on other systems. I would like to see it on the PS5. I would like to see it on the Switch 2. Something tells me, though, that we're not going to see any prior Halo game retroactively ported to the PS5. It seems like they're kind of like only now all future Halo projects would be ported to the PS5. Hell yes. Okay. There were like 1 billion Escherums. Oh, here's another. This is a weird quirk about this mode, and it's kind of unfortunately a symptom of Halo Infinite. If your game runs for more than an hour, there is a very big risk that your XP will bug out, and you will get nothing. So even if you're doing extremely well, if you're approaching that hour mark in this mode, end the game. End the game before you hit the hour mark, or you could lose your XP. Technically not the whole series because of 5. Yep, yeah. They not the whole series. Yeah, it would be nice to have the entire franchise. It's another thing. I don't trust Microsoft, and I think it is in the franchise's best interest to get them all on to other systems like PC, PS5. Even though they wouldn't, I would like to see a Steam release of Halo 5. I would like to see a Steam release of Halo Wars 2. I would also like to, Okay. I was gonna see a Steam release of Halo Spartan and Assault and Strike, but those are on Steam. So I don't know what I was talking about there. In fact, Spartan Strike is a damn awesome Steam Deck game. It feels like, well, I mean, it quite literally was. But it's extremely comfortable on the Steam Deck, Spartan Strike. It's more fun to play Spartan Strike on the Steam Deck, I think, than the first-person Halo games. Just probably because Spartan Strike was designed for, handhelds. Fish! Halo 5 will forever be stuck on the Xbox One. I genuinely don't understand why, And not in Halo 5 was not controversial at all. But in that's not the reason that they won't port Halo 5 to Steam or PC. It has nothing to do with Halo 5's notoriety as a game. What's even crazier, so this is all 120 of us here. We got to keep this secret amongst ourselves. I have heard from folk who worked on Halo Wars 2 that I'm still friends with, that they actually were at the studio, the developers, were developing Halo Wars 2 with Steam in mind. Because they knew it was going to be on PC. That was around the time that Microsoft was doing, the Windows Store and, all of that. You buy a game on the Windows Store, you also get it on the Xbox. So they were like, okay, we're going to be making a PC version of this game. And they had, built into the... They designed it in a way so that it could integrate seamlessly into, Steam's servers and stuff. They had it set up so that, there could be cross-progression for your files and stuff. They had it set up so that you could interact with Steam friends in Halo Wars 2. And you know what happened? You know why that didn't happen? I don't know if you remember, but back in 2016, still to this day, the Windows Store sucked. And it still sucks. But it really sucked, and the fact that it was the only way to play, these Xbox games on PC, the PC versions of them, they sucked. It was just terrible. And the Windows Store people who worked on the store team, like, they were constantly looking for basically excuses to keep their jobs, you know, because everyone hated the store, everyone wanted it gone. And when they caught wind, the store people, of the Halo Wars developers, that the plan was to release it also day and date on Steam, they complained to Microsoft. Like, look, they're taking, like, what's the point of us if they're just going to release the game on Steam? Like, this isn't fair. And so Microsoft pulled the plug on the Steam release. And that's why it didn't happen. That is the story that I have heard from Halo Wars developers. Isn't MCC dead on the Windows Store due to a bug? That was actually fixed. That was fixed. Spartan Strike is like $1 right now. Spartan Strike is so much fun. Every mission in Spartan Strike is like 3 minutes long. Because, you know, it was designed for like handheld, for tablets and stuff. So every mission is just like, it's like a little bite. You know, it's just like a little snack. Like, it's a thing you can easily finish in 3 minutes. And the way it works is that you go into the mission with 3 challenges. You also get XP for, you know, killing enemies, beating the mission and stuff like that. And your XP quadruples and everything if you also throw on skulls. And so you basically want to, and then you can get tiers where you can get all the way up to like gold. I don't know what I think gold is the highest tier, you know, bronze, silver, gold. So you are trying to complete all the challenges, kill all the enemies, and stack on skull multipliers so that you can get the... That's it. That's it. You can get, you know, a crazy amount of XP and possibly get the gold tier. And it is fun. I really, really, really like Spartan Strike. Okay, let's see if I can get, let's see if I can get... Oh my god, the grunt. The grunt. Hang on. We need this little guy. Okay, I got max speed. Calcite Disruptor, so I could probably do some damage. Crap. What I need is 2... Yeah, this is gonna get killed. This is just gonna get me killed. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Okay, I hope that they're able to get that. I saw a Grunt plushie down the hallway. I hope they're able to get that so that we have insta-kill. Okay, we're sort of back in business, but this is not nearly good enough. Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, we're already done. Okay. Oh, we're keeping that. Because that is actually surprisingly good Pack-a-Punch. But it might not be what we need. Actually, we're going to be keeping that. Oh my gosh, we're just never going to get the heat wave, are we? Okay, we're out of here. This is nuts. Can you guys see this? I can't take my eyes off the screen to look at the chat even for a second. Okay, they want to end. Yeah. Okay. Hey, RNG, can you say Bubsy 3D again? So, okay, first thing, my name is not RNG. Well, I guess my name isn't Late Night Gaming either. And Bubsy 3D. Bubsy 3D. I'll say it one more time. Bubsy 3D. The weirdest thing about Halo 5 is that it performs the worst on the best hardware. It's on the Series X. Does it perform worse? I think it performs great. It's just it has a lot of like weird technical issues, right? Hell yeah. Watch this, watch this. Look how much XP I'm about to get. Boom. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Look at that. Let's go again. 40-minute game is the optimized length for the XP. Sort of. You can go up to the last minute if you'd like, but it's like, you know, if somebody's dying over and over again, just end it. Because it's not fun for them. What is your favorite weapon out of every mainline Halo game? Oh god, that's sort of like asking what's your favorite utensil for eating, you know? Because Halo isn't like Call of Duty where it's just like what's your favorite gun, you know, to make your loadouts. Like every Halo game has a different, every weapon in Halo has a different purpose and function. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, man, I wish I had the Needler if I'm on a massive big team battle map, you know? It does weird things on the Series X. Yeah, Halo 5's... Okay, so maybe you guys can educate me a little bit. Is the ritual to get Halo 5 matchmaking to work on Series X that you have to load into a custom game? And then do you just leave, or do you have to end the custom game? And then matchmaking will work reliably. Is that what the ritual is? Because Halo 5 matchmaking is really busted on the Series X. For just, like, no reason. Damn it. Okay, it's too far away. Yeah, okay. We're almost at a Grunt round. Grunt rounds come at round 3, I think, and they drop a max ammo. Noctur and Toten, map. It is. It is very much Noctur and Toten. Is 10 to 15 long zombies good for XP? Yeah, too. I'd say, so it doubles. Whatever you make doubles. So if you can get like 10,000 XP, you'll walk out of that with 20,000. I don't know how much you'd make in 10 to 15. I mean, I guess we'll see here. You know? That was very stupid of me, by the way. And it does not bode well for the rest of this match. Here, if you guys want to see a little sneaky trick, this window, for some reason, they like spawning at this window. Then you just turn around, nobody's there. Oh. Perfect. Okay. Hey man, I'm back after 2 hours. How much XP you got this stream? My last match, I walked away with 130,000 XP. I felt pretty good about that. Would be cool to see the Black Ops 2 town, though. Dude, Black Ops 2's town would be so good in this game. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Holy shit. Has anybody forged that? If there's anybody who's talented with the Forge mode and is watching right now, like, part of the reason that this Noctur and Toten remake happened and the Survive the Undead game mode is due to Hidden Xperia asking for somebody to forge a Nazi Zombies mode. If anybody's watching here and they're good at Forge and they know how to make Survive the Undead maps, like they know how to script them and make them work with this game mode, I am formally requesting somebody do town. Like a 1-to-1 accurate recreation of Black Ops 2's town map. Because that would be sick. I forgot people don't like Nuketown Zombies because of how unfair the chance of getting a perk is. I was talking about the campaign. Something is invisible or looks weird in cutscenes and weird in levels. Is campaign stuff acted weird for you in this game? Taco Bell. Indeed. Dude, people who don't like Nuketown Zombies because sometimes Juggernog doesn't spawn first, they're crazy. That's why I love Nuketown Zombies. I like that it's sometimes the match is pretty easy, and then sometimes it's tough, because you're not going to get Juggernog first. Like, I don't, something that I don't like about, you know, like the modern version of Zombies is I don't like how consistent across the board the systems are and the kind of like map design is. I like that due to the like the way that the older Zombies mode worked was that due to the every map kind of featuring very different mechanics, you could have varying levels of difficulty and game flow. Like Nuketown, it's almost like yeah, if you want to have like a super easy game of Zombies, you load into Town or something like that in Black Ops 2. But then if you wanted, like, really frickin' hard, then you did Nuketown Zombies. What was that Halo, Xbox Series X Halo 5 matchmaking error you talked about earlier? It's like, you get errors when you're matchmaking in Halo 5. It'll be like trouble connecting to a server, you know, and sometimes it just like won't matchmake. You'll just search endlessly and never find a match. And it's a bug that's on the Series X. And apparently there are workarounds. Like you have to do some kind of weird ritual that fixes it and gets it to run, and it involves like starting up a private custom game and then ending that custom game. I don't know, it just makes no sense, and I don't quite know how you do it. The AI slop game? What? Oh, Black Ops 7? How is Ashes of the Damned for the folks who play it? Because I was saying earlier on the stream, I am a proud certified Transit enjoyer. Transit's probably one of my favorite zombie maps. I never have a bad time when I play Transit. I like that map a lot. And Ashes of the Damned is, you know, trying to do the transit nostalgia really hard, and I can feel it, you know, in the back of my brain. But I do not care for the third-person vehicle. I think that's almost a deal breaker for me, the third-person vehicle. Like, I want to be, when I am running from a horde of zombies and I get into the vehicle, I want to feel safe in the vehicle. I want to feel like they are outside and I am inside. And you don't get that feeling when you just hop into third person, you know? So the Ashes of the Dam, that aspect of Ashes of the Dam is almost like, wow, you guys, for the fans who like transit, you did not understand why we liked that map. If you're putting this vehicle into the third person when you get into it, you really don't understand why folks like the bus in transit. Mr. Raffle Waffles got the Halo Museum tour because of Unishek. What the fuck? Raffle Waffles got the museum tour? I've had a field day when my friend donated Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles for me on Steam to mod the hell out of last year. Played every single popular custom map and mode. Yeah, Black Ops 3 Chronicles is, that's a damn good time. Oh my god, this is bad. This is really bad. I have not set up properly. And we're already in the really hard. Okay, I gotta lock in a little bit. Hang on. Oh my god, this is just the regular shock rifle. I'm cooked, dude. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I don't have any good weapons. Here, maybe I can intimidate them. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. Look, we got insta-kill. Hell yeah. Dude, I don't even know what perks I have anymore. Late night cooking. Well, I'm trying to. Definitely try to. Oh, perfect. Okay. Now, all I have to do is stay alive. Like, I get it that he can't help it because it's the mutilator, but I'm going to go crazy if he throws me one more time with that mutilator. Okay, I got full of that. What about this? Okay, full of that. Okay, I am perked up. Now, the points. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Next up is 2,500 points, and then that will be Pack-a-Punch territory. Late night cooking? Am I cooking? Leftovers time. Oh, there's going to be no leftovers here. I'm going to cook the exact portions that we all need. Are we making fun of... Oh my god, I see something about a giant Giant Michael Rooker in the chat. Are we making fun of Black Ops 7? I love making fun of Black Ops 7. Dude, the campaign looks like trash, like hot trash. Like, you know how trash gets really stinky when it gets warm? That's what Black Ops 7 is. It's hot trash. Like, I cannot believe how bad that campaign is. Okay, I think I'm good, actually. It was a rough setup, but we're here now. You could say it's a poop from a butt. I could say that. I could say that, couldn't I? Skibbity toilet boss fight? Yeah! It's just like, I can't believe they finally went there. Like, I feel like for the last couple of years, the Black Ops series has been inching closer and closer to that stupidity, you know? I remember thinking with Black Ops 3, like, the mission where you do the World War II thing or whatever, and you're, like, in, I don't know, somebody's mine or what. They just, like, it was just, like, a lazy copy of the Far Cry 3 drug trips. And I was like, this sucks. This is really dumb. But then, like, zombies show up, and you have to fight off zombies. Yeah, and not like in a thematic sense, not in a way that makes sense. It's just like they are the zombies from the zombie mode. Like, it's the assets from the Giant remake, you know? It's just the zombies are now here. And they made up something about, like, oh, the memories being corrupted. And that's like their excuse for why they just dropped in zombies assets into this campaign mission. And I remember thinking at the time, oh, this is bad. What's going on here? And, you know, with Black Ops 4, a lot of, even though that game didn't have a campaign, a lot of the story-related stuff regarding that game was unbelievably bad. And then Cold War came out, and there was that whole section with the zombies that was like, this is cute, you know, this is cute. I prefer that this is an Easter egg in the campaign, that it's not just like Black Ops 3 where you literally fight zombies, but this is now the second time zombies have just shown up in a Black Ops campaign. I'm worried. And then Black Ops 6 had an entire level dedicated to fighting zombies with a grappling hook, and you had, like, boss fights with health bars, and I was like, they can't help themselves. Like, it's gonna get stupid fast, and I did not expect the next game that they made to go too far, you know? I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect that they couldn't even wait a couple more games before they just straight up had, like, stupid, dumb, gigantic, skibbity toilet Michael Rooker boss battle. What the hell is going on? What is going on? Okay. Oh boy, this is bad, this is bad. Sorry, I'm like locked in, that's why I'm like really quiet right now. It's getting intense. This map, Nocturne Totem, is one of the most difficult in, I was about to say Black Ops Cold War. No, in Halo Infinite. This map is really freaking hard because you can see how close everything is. Like, there's absolutely nowhere to run. I joined the stream and first thing I hear is Skibbity Toilet. Yup. Welcome. For some reason, if you Pack-a-Punch, the energy sword, you go into third person. Are there any other benefits, or is it just third person mode? I don't know what y'all thought about Advanced Warfare, but it was not bad. No, Advanced Warfare was great. Or, okay, not, you know. I think the biggest thing holding... Wait, did you say Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare? What did I say? We're talking about Advanced Warfare. The one with Kevin Spacey. Before he was outed as a super creep. That one was... the campaign was alright. It was good. I thought at the time coming off of COD Ghosts, Advanced Warfare's campaign was a remarkable step up. You know, after kind of the bottom of the barrel that was the Ghost campaign. That being said, choices it made in the gameplay department, I think, hurt its chances long run. It's actually like similar to the problem Halo 5 faced, where the skill gap was all in enhanced movement and being able to very quickly make yourself an unpredictable target. And so it, you know, people who are good at that, they get even better at the game, and it makes it extremely hard for casual people to just like hop in and learn the ropes, because they've mastered the movement tech and they're flying around and it's very hard to shoot them. Hell yeah. Oh, baby bun bun. GG's holy. When was the last time you played Infinite Infection? Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like Infinite Infection. I like Infinite Alpha Zombies. That's fun, but that's just because that's closer. The only other campaign as bad as Black Ops 7 is Halo 5. No. Like, I know that we're, like, joking around here. We're being hyperbolic, but no. No, Halo 5's campaign is so much better than Black Ops 7's. Like, oh my God. Halo 5's campaign is more enjoyable to me than any of the recent Call of Duty campaigns. Like, I think Halo 5's campaign, like, as ridiculous and kind of like, you know, messy and sloppy as the storytelling choices are, it respects your intelligence so much better than a lot of the recent Halo or Call of Duty campaigns. Like Modern Warfare 3, the new... Well, okay, Modern Warfare 2 is where we could, like, actually have some, like, interesting discussions, because Modern Warfare 2, the new Modern Warfare 2's campaign, is not universally just bad. Like, there are some good aspects to it, like Alejandro Vargas. That guy is great. But, like, Modern Warfare 3, that's just, like, it's terrible, like, across the board. Black Ops 6, at least for me, I thought was just... Everyone was like, this is one of the best COD campaigns in years, and I'm like, no. I'm sorry, you know. You're incorrect. Like, that's not true what you said. That is a false statement. Black Ops 6 is not. Modern Warfare 2 was much better than Black Ops 6. That campaign. I'm sorry, you're not going to tell me that stupid mission where they just had you fighting zombies with health bars and a grappling hook. No, that was... Modern Warfare 2 was much more coherent. Like, Black Ops 6 felt kind of... like, it was getting there. It was a skibbity toilet campaign for the most part. Yeah, Halo 5, I think, respects your intelligence a lot more. Which says a lot, you know, because we don't like the Halo 5 campaign. But, you know, like, when you play the Mission Blue team in Halo 5, like, there are interesting secrets off the beaten path. There's interesting environmental storytelling. Even if the game doesn't do a good job of explaining itself a majority of the time, if you stop and just kind of like, and just look around some of those environments, there's actually a lot of clever level design there. It's just, I think Halo 5's big issue is the fact that you know, as an enhanced mobility game, enhanced mobility's big draw is that, you know how in previous installments of this franchise, you had to stick to the ground, you had to obey the level design. Well, what we're promising is you can ignore the level design, fly where you want, thrust, jetpack everywhere. Do you see a tall ledge up there and you don't want to use a ladder to get up there? You don't want to explore and find a way up? You don't need to. Just climb. Like, enhanced mobility, unfortunately, kind of makes environments very boring because, you know, the whole gimmick of enhanced mobility is that, well, now you can ignore the level design. You can just fly over it, climb over it. There was a developer on Halo 5, actually, who, back in, like, 2018, I want to say. It was around the Halo Wars 2 launch party, actually. He told me something interesting. Like, he did not work in level design. I can't remember what he did. I think he was sandbox. He told me as an interesting, because we were talking about, like, Halo 5 level design, and I was like, I think the level design's not memorable. It's not good. And he was like, no, I think it's good, the level design. I think the problem is that the mechanics we gave the player did not encourage them to explore the levels. Like, you know, we set up all these, like, interesting things that you could find and discover, but then gave you the tools to completely bypass it, because you didn't need it. You didn't need to discover everything. And so he said, to play Halo 5's campaign without doing self-imposed rules, no clamber, no sprint, you can only aim down the sights with sniper rifles. And no thruster either. And he was like, just play the campaign and tell me what you think. And holy shit. If you were to port some of those Halo 5 levels back into, like, a prior Halo game, I think you could actually make some really damn fun content out of them. I don't think the level design was ever the problem. It was just kind of like the way the gameplay disincentivized you from engaging with it. Fish. What did you get? Wood Grump caught the mackerel. Have you caught anything interesting, Wood Grump? Will the CE remake have ladders? I don't think so. I don't think it will, and that hurts, honestly. Like, I'm in pain to bring you that news because Halo Reach didn't have ladders. So there is fear in my heart. I wake up at night in a cold sweat because I worry that this remake is going to have no ladders in it. Oh my god, can you guys go away? This is bad. Okay. Oh, you! I hopped over. Let's grab this. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Okay, we gotta start setting up, okay? Because I'm starting to approach dangerous territory, and I don't have a proper, This map's also difficult. Do you remember a couple years back when you were on Halo 3 and Marty himself joined? I do remember that. Totally cool too. Dark Interval has so many awesome ideas, and their preference for a sort of classic feel and art style. I'm just not a fan of some of the difficulty decisions. What is this in regards to? We talking about other games? I keep looking away because of how intense the gameplay gets. And by the time I look back, you guys are having all the fun. You guys are talking about the interesting shit. And I'm sitting here missing out. Oh, I caught a blue whale worth it. 985 gold. Have you caught any of the Halo items? Because there's Halo stuff in the pond. Oh, I thought some of that static was a evil. Oh no, is everyone dead? Oh, I fear that this may be it. Okay, double points. Dude, the aim assist turns off with the cloaked enemies, and that always throws me off. What's your story with Half-Life? I love Half-Life 1 a lot. I never beat Half-Life 1, actually until I was an adult. I had always started Half-Life, and Half-Life was always like this very elusive game. Okay, all right, this is probably going to be the last game for the night, because there's some stuff that we got to do. I wasn't even looking at the time. Half-Life 1 is a very cool game to me. It has a lot of magic because I never owned it and I wanted to own it very bad. But the family computer when I was younger, it was not strong enough to run Half-Life 1, like Half-Life 1. So I would watch playthroughs of it on the internet. And I had a friend who owned Half-Life 1, and what I would do is I would play through the opening over and over again, because I didn't know about save. I didn't know about saving, like save states and stuff like that, so I'm very familiar with the opening of Half-Life, but because I could never get past that first level before it was time to go home, Half-Life always had this, like, magic, like, what was beyond, you know, the opening, like, good to see you, Gordon. They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber. And I finally beat Half-Life just a couple of years ago for the first time. I, like, sat down, properly finished it and stuff, and I really like Half-Life 1. I really, 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 really like Half-Life 1. I have never beaten Half-Life 2. I played quite a bit of it on a stream, and even though I like Half-Life 2, my heart belongs to Half-Life 1. Like, if Half-Life 2 is a game where I'm like, well, yeah, Half-Life 2 is cool, but Half-Life 1 is a game where I'm like, holy shit, yeah, I'll play through Half-Life 1 again. That game's great. Oh boy. You should give it a try. Stream Half-Life 1 at some point. Are there any good mods? I could probably stream a Half-Life mod that added like a bunch of Halo guns, because, you know, I need to throw you guys a bone sometimes. Oh. Like, I know that, you know, there's some of you who are like, yeah, I'll watch a Half-Life 1 unmodded playthrough, but then there's some that are like, come on, Mr. Halo man. I'm not here for this. I'm here for the Halo. Where are the Halo guns? So I'll probably do it with like Halo weapons or something. But all right, guys, this is it. I was not looking at the time. I didn't realize how late it's getting. So what we are going to do here, we're going to call it for tonight. I appreciate you guys all joining me. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad that you guys were, you know, talking about fun, interesting things while I was grinding out this mode. The time you played Half-Life 2 on stream was when I was playing Sonic Colors Ultimate. Whew, Sonic Colors Ultimate. People are going to be mad at me. For Half-Life 2? Why would people be mad at you? GG stream. Yeah, GG for real, for real. There is Halo Gold Source, Half-Life multiplayer with Halo weapons and maps. Well, what I'm thinking is I want to do, like, Half-Life 1, but, like, the guns are repainted to be Halo weapons, you know? But, yeah. I shall see you guys later, okay? Thank you, everybody, for joining. We will do this again. So, ironically, we're not, or not ironically, I just straight up lied. We're not ending the stream when I hit max rank. We're ending the stream now. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody. Actually, I shall see you later, too.